Flat on the floor of my life, the world just leaves me behind. I wanted more at this point, but I keep losing my voice. I don't wanna be like that though. Better grow a fucking backbone. I don't wanna be like that though. Better grow a fucking backbone. Left off from the shore, she thinks it's buried deep. Right now I've reached the top, I'm falling right back down to earth. It's calling now. Feast my eyes upon this wasteland. Right now the map's becoming clearer. It's all in my perspective. become so clear to me. Not all treasures buried, it's all in your head. Just try to hear me out. They've got you locked up and out.
Wait until another, when I got nothing on my mind. I just can't wait to rediscover when I meet with you again. Oh, I just can't wait until the summer, when my spirit's free, no one's stopping me now. I just can't wait until the summer.
Welcome back to Season 2 PUBG games here on our second week of PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. I'm B, this is Nobody.
Hey.
And today we're going to be looking into, one more time, seeing 4 more games of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds played on maps Erangel and Miramar. Switch between the two. There has been also a game update in the middle, introducing also a new weapon. So curious to see if we're going to see that weapon used at some point in time today. I believe we're going to talk about that weapon slightly more in a brief moment. I will remind you guys that the first game will start shortly. We're just setting up this server at the moment and should be jumping into it. But in the meantime, we can, I suppose, check out standings and understand really where we stand with these teams, because obviously there were a lot of new names coming up in this season.
Yeah. So the biggest, we'll say the biggest changes are for the team latest. Right now, we're going to have one emergency substitute for them. It's going to be the K4ZZ. That's going to be playing for them, because right now, few of their players is still traveling back from other tournaments as well. And
yeah, so apparently Gaxi and Xcris are in Starlighter in Kiev.
Yeah.
And I believe Pybus is also in Gamescom, so we're not going to see either of these players today, unfortunately, which also means that their game might be switching up in the sense that how they're going to approach this, and obviously what sort of tactics they're going to use. And I don't think we've seen K4ZZ before, so obviously one more time curious to see if this player will be as impactful as latest players.
And
hope so.
Of course, good props to the Kawortka, because he was traveling back from the tournament as well, and he was the first one to arrive, and right now we are still waiting for the other players as well, and so he's going to be playing only because he had the faster car or something, who knows. Other team that has a lot of changes is a team Piu. They're going to have today playing Mad Kid, Grimq, and two other substitutes that we haven't seen before. That is Torresas and QCAP. I think it's a QCAP. Yeah.
QCAP.
And the third team that has a lot of changes is What Do You Mean? Right now they're going to have as well an emergency substitute, the AB Williams. And the other players that's going to be playing today's game going to be Haston, Sikven, Ryut, and afterwards they're going to change with Psylo.
Okay, so they're going to swap the players outside sometime during the game. Okay, so a few lineup changes coming in today, meaning that one more time, as I already previously mentioned, that might mean that the team needs to change the strategy, because obviously if you are practicing with your main lineup, your substitute players might not be up to par with what they have been implementing in order to have success.
Yeah, but as we saw last week for the team division, they had a substitute player and he helped to rack them up 16 kills in one game. So you can see the substitute players can actually come in and have a lot of pressure and actually help.
Yeah, of course. So I suppose it depends more like on the chemistry that's within the team and just in making sure that you can actually play together with this player on a decent level. So just before we're checking out the points, I will remind you one more time that today we also will have the Vault giveaway. So for whoever doesn't know what that is, that's basically free food for you. That's
how can I sign up?
How can you sign up? You just need to type in #Vault in the chat and be subscribed to our YouTube channel in order to be eligible for this. The amount of monies that you get is 10 euros. That's given away. That's given away every single stream that we do here on BSL. And looking towards the points side of things of how the teams currently stand after this first week, in our first place we do have currently Team Litist, so the people that we were speaking about previously here. They're currently sitting in first place with 1,625 points. So like a first place victory gives you one more time 500 points, and then gradually it goes down. Meaning that, well, they did win one game last week, and the remaining points have just been pretty much standings plus the amounts of kills they've been gaining, and they definitely weren't the team that got small amounts.
If you look at all of the numbers of the kills, they have the highest of all the teams that were participating last week.
Yeah. So obviously these guys have solid shooters on their side, and they're not afraid to take fights.
No
they actually just go for it. So.
Yeah.
Cool. Second place currently held by Mighty Wolves, our own Latvian team. So with the help of General Orgasm Content, Kiwish and Armands, as well as I believe we saw Barvedis, I think, last week as well play for a game there. So they've managed to get to second place with the score of 1,560 points. So from first to second place, there's only like 65-point difference, meaning that these guys can still definitely change the tides in a matter of seconds here. I will remind you also that a single kill gives you 15 points for your team, meaning that, well, it's like a 4-kill difference here.
Yeah.
Not even talking about the standings.
Just to to put in as well. I was talking with the general
Yeah.
today, and I asked a few questions what he thought about the last week, and are they upset to be in the second place?
Yes.
All right, and right now they have set the goal for the next games upcoming to try some sort of different tactics as well, and to put some more pressure on the map.
Okay.
In the previous games, they were more trying to do like the end game and trying to not get as many kills as they should.
Well, obviously, playing against teams that you don't know and not knowing how these teams decide to approach the game,
Yeah.
you would like to initially start with the with a distant approach and a more tactical one. So in third place, we currently have also another Latvian team that is Division, which I was pleasantly surprised by, as I previously only knew one of the players, and that was Alchemist.
Yeah.
And also, I believe GOEXANIMO was the man who survived, I believe, 2 or 3 games. That was the last man standing for his team, and he was able to put up a good amount of points just based off his standings, as well as
Well, I think we
kills.
weren't the only ones that were surprised. I think our viewers as well were watching the games and were slightly amused.
Yeah, so there were fun things to see, and fourth place is currently held by Lietuvos Ateitis, and that is with the help of Back, Groovy, Ignais, Sponsorius, and there are also so few substitute players. I don't believe we saw any of the subs playing last week. So one more time, also a close scoreline, 1,410 points. So you can see that basically this top 4 teams currently,
Yeah.
by the points, like everything can change after today for sure. And as well, I will actually add Garlic Cola in that bunch as well, because they put up an interesting amount of points constantly, despite the fact that for the most part of their matches they were playing in like 2 in pairs, as in like 2 people would die and then the pair would just destroy a lot of teams.
I had a good chat with them as well. As I understood the name, what they have, the Garlic Cola, last week you were asking for that to clarify. It's just the 2 random names that they were just sitting on the computers and thinking, how could our team be named? Let's take Cola and Garlic and put them together.
Okay.
So there's no meaning behind that. It was just a random occurrence for that.
Right. Well, I hope it's not a legitimate thing. If there is something like Garlic Cola and you have access to it,
I would like to taste it.
Send it to us. I'm sure we'll taste it, but I'd just rather not try to imagine how it actually tastes. Moving on here, so in 6th place we have From Silver to Land. 7th is going to be Praise the Lord, and 8th is going to be Agresiva and Betsu Pruotu. So all these teams have had mixed results in the first week. Like they had good games, they had bad games, they had games where they lost all their players initially. They had games where they essentially were cornered. So a lot of switching up happening there.
Well,
and
just to point out, I was pretty, amazed about the Aggressivas, but Suprotu, what they did. They had a good games. They were making a lot of kills in the map, but at the scoreboard, they're not there.
Yeah, so it didn't look like that they were really going for standings, at least judging from like an observer's point of view, because they were picking fights like essentially all the way throughout the game. So they were constantly shooting. I'm actually surprised how they didn't run out of bullets at some point in time, just because they were literally fighting
I hope to
everyone.
see more.
I'm not saying it's a bad approach, but you need to kind of get your standings up a bit.
Yeah.
So
That's
definitely
correct.
know that they are still a very dangerous squad, and you most likely would like to avoid them if you can on the map, if you're going for those standing points initially before getting extra kills. And from the 9th place and downwards, we have no organization. What do you mean? Kartoshka,
My favorite.
Figure of 5, surprisingly, is currently only in 14th place. Now, Figure of 5, as I already said, it's a well-known organization in the Lithuanian scene, and I'm kind of surprised that this name is not currently standing higher. So I'm sure there's a good amount of pressure on these guys for them to gain more points, and obviously after the first week.
It's just the second week, all right?
Yes.
It's all upcoming. We're going to see a lot of changes in the brackets in upcoming games, and after today, we're going to look at this again, and I hope to see the different numbers.
Okay, and slightly lower than them are Discount Gaming, 4 Gentlemen, Ascenda, Pandora, Pew Pew, and Cable Knights. Now, out of all of these teams, I think the one that stands out is probably for gentlemen, I would say. They had a few games where they survived for quite a long time, but they had trouble getting kills.
Yeah, as we can remember how King 3DM used this by some strategic plays in a buggy and...
It wasn't a bad play, so for those guys who don't know, King 3D, well, first of all, I believe in 3 out of 4 games we saw him just constantly being alone.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's the general approach or what's going on, but it seems that's a theme for him. And at one point in time, there was a buggy that had turned over essentially, and he was still just sitting in the seat, sort of waiting for everyone to pass by, which admittedly worked out for a good while.
It worked out, yeah. He got a few kills out of that, so it's all good. Whatever works, right?
Whatever works, whatever floats your boat, man.
Yeah.
On top of things, I will remind also to the players and to the viewers that we have shown, well, nobody has shown personal initiative here in this tournament, and whoever gets the first crossbow kill gets also a €50 gift card towards archery.
Yes, it's an archery
class.
class. Basically, you go there, you learn how to do all the basics. You shoot a lot of arrows until you get good at it.
But are those like the old
yes,
school?
old school way, like with the old English bows, yeah.
Okay, well that's lit.
Yes.
So whoever gets the first crossbow kill during this tournament will get that €50 gift card towards archery lessons.
Just to point out, I was asking a few of the players online to have some what they think about the €50 giveaway in the archery class, and some of them said if they're going to be really low in the brackets, then they're going to try it out. But otherwise than that, it's not going to be a special way to go forwards for that.
Obviously, you don't want to throw your game because of it.
Why not?
But these
it's
players...
a €50 class. Why not?
Not when you're sitting in top 4, probably. But even teams from the top 4 have shown initiative and have said that if they see that they're sitting well with their points, they might actually just go for a full 4-man squad crossbow team.
Yes,
so
I'm looking
essentially
forward.
that is still a possibility. And also there is another smaller prize available for these players, and that is, of course, if you get a pan kill, we will buy you a pan. Just so you can practice.
Yeah,
IRL.
with our signatures, of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Anywho, so the first game and first map that we're going to see today, I believe, is going to be Erangel.
Yeah.
I usually start Erangel, Miramar, then we go Erangel, Miramar one more time. So we're going to join the server soon enough. I feel like after the changes in the patch, the last changes, so one of the additions that was added was also the capability of adjusting sharpness in the game.
Yeah.
How do you feel like that changes the whole vibe of the game?
I asked a few players around, they said it helps a little bit.
Okay.
But a major change is whenever a player is sitting in a bush, before the update you could see the bush and something dark in it. But right now you can see 2 different things, a bush and a player.
Okay.
So it helps in a long distance zoom ins if someone is actually sitting behind, let's say, a little boxes or something, that you can spot some of the body parts around it.
Okay.
So that helps.
Yeah, because as we spoke about this off camera as well, and accordingly, I personally like to play with anti-aliasing turned on, but that would mean sometimes that I would suffer from these sort of situations. So essentially adding this sharpness means that you can still have your anti-aliasing on, have a nice smooth game, and just have slightly sharper edges. Previously you had the capability of adjusting that through your video drivers if they allowed to do so, and there were also third-party programs that also Bluehole themselves confirmed are allowed for use. So,
but right now it's all in the game. And
it's all in the game, and of course they just want to give you like a full set of things. So that was one of the changes that appeared in the latest patch notes, and definitely something I'm looking forward to. Actually, haven't had the chance to test it yet with all the other casting.
And the second biggest change was the new gun, of course. And
barrel is it called? Barrel, something along the lines of that.
Well, we didn't have time to test it out, but I asked the players that is in the highest places right now, the top 5, what they think about the gun, and it's crappy. That
Okay,
all of them said that it's crappy to use it right now. There is few things that that is shown straight away. The recoil. If you are shooting it in the mid range or in the long range, you have to be really practiced with it to follow up the car and try to shoot someone out of it.
Okay.
And it's a bit stronger than the other assault rifles, and the AK is more stronger than that. But
okay, so it's
it's
just
in the middle,
just
somewhere
between the M4 and the
Yeah.
AK. Okay.
and it's not worth the risk to take. And right now, it's what I said. It's more. It's like better to just take the assault rifle that you know how to use, and try to just shoot
Well, of
someone with
course,
that.
playing in a league, you would probably not want to risk your points with something brand new unless you've really practiced with it. So most likely
Yeah.
we won't see too many pickups of that weapon today, but as I understood, it still deals a lot of damage, and for close quarters, such as
Exactly.
clearing out a house or something like that, along those lines, it still would be beneficial, as you can very quickly just get rid of a player. So
Exactly.
we haven't seen like too many house clearings happening in the last week, not as
not
far as
really,
I
yeah.
remember. Like, I mean, there were a few, but nothing out of the ordinary that I can really recall, such as where you would be, like, in, say, in Pachinki and so on.
The one that we had where the player was sitting inside the gas station, and
Yes.
he had 3 enemies approaching him,
Yeah.
and he kind of lost it.
He kind of I feel like, so here's my problem with that situation, and I feel like it's also something that messes up a lot of players. When you are in a position where you are expecting enemies for, say you're cornered in a room,
Yeah.
and you put down your crosshair where you expect the players to appear, you can see a lot of players sometimes moving the mouse a little bit. The reason why they do it is so you would keep your reactions sharp.
Yeah.
Otherwise, and that was also the scenario that happened with him, was, I believe, as far as I remember, he had a static angle put down, and like he was in that gas station for a legit solid
10 minutes.
5,
I
10
would say,
minutes,
yeah, 10
5,
minutes.
10 minutes. So within 5, 10 minutes, your mind is going to start to wander. And
Yeah.
if you're not going to keep yourself constantly sharp, what exactly happened? 2 people went into the room, and he got neither of them.
This happened.
The crosshair was all over the place, and apparently we just got information from our dearest production team that the person was actually on his phone. So the dude was talking on his phone.
All right. Well, that explains
That
why.
must have been an important phone call to pick up during BSL. I mean,
It has to. Well, maybe he was calling Wolf.
hopefully, yes, but you don't need to, because you can just use the app and make sure you stay safe and alive. While
And remember,
you are
you
ordering
have
your
to
food.
type in the chat #Wolf, subscribe to the channel, and maybe you're gonna go home with 10 euros worth of food. Well,
So,
you're gonna sit at home and they're gonna drive to you. That's the biggest perk.
I feel the heat approaching as the players are gradually joining the server here. And it looks like we'll be starting shortly. So one more time, the names of the teams that will be attending today's games are probably the names that you want to watch out for. So far, what we've seen the most is not surely Littest, Aggressiva, Betsu Pruatu. I would also shout out to Mighty Wolves, Division, Figure of 5, Praise the Lord won a game.
Yeah.
And who else we have? Discount Gaming had good success. Ascenda really haven't shown up yet last week, because they definitely have players that know how to play, but their results really weren't that good. And I feel like we already slightly talked about this previously in the last week. It doesn't seem like that their tactical approach really works out for them. They managed to get some kills, but that is it.
And don't forget that Garlic Cola as
Oh,
well.
yeah,
They're
excuse
in the
me,
middle
Garlic
there.
Cola. So
Always.
as we actually spoke last week about Garlic Cola as well, I feel like they find more success when they're playing in pairs, so they just should try splitting up initially already into pairs and see if that perhaps brings them more success. Because as you already mentioned, this is just the beginning. It is only the second week out of the 8. So you'll still have time for a bit of experimenting and just seeing what works best for you, and perhaps towards the later half of the season, then you can throw it into a huge mix, as the other teams will already be expecting some sort of plays from you, and accordingly, if you switch it back up into a full squad from playing pair to pair, that could throw the enemies really off.
From the new names that we have in this week, I'm looking forward for the K4 ZZ to see, is he legit and can play in the latest as a normal.
Oh,
substitute.
is he a legitimate pickup, or is it
Yes,
just a
yes.
person that's been taken on the board? Excuse me, as he has been taken on the board by accident. I believe we're going to start in a few moments here. So the very first game of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds in this second season here, second week, is about to begin. We're about to jump on the plane and see how many crossbow kills we're going to see. Is there going to be a frying pan kill? Because I know I will lose my mind when I see it happening. I believe when me and you were playing in a team, we actually quite often went for those kills just because...
It's so satisfying, man. it is.
It's the sound that makes it satisfying.
Yes.
Yeah. So I actually wanted to take a few frying pans with me here just so we can have a frying pan duel, but I forgot them. I just remembered them when I was in the taxi. So I'll make I'll make sure to bring a few frying pans here next week. I don't know why. Apparently I have a lot of frying pans at home, like old frying pans, so it's weird.
You are a frying pan enthusiast.
I am not, but then again, there are people who most definitely are, so it is going to be weird. But just before we start here, as the players are warming up, we are going to jump into a quick, small commercial.
Really short one.
A really short one, and then when we'll be back, it's going to be PUBG on Erangel.
The sound of big booming 4v4 friend fragging action? We'll fix you up. Go big, go boom with Guns of Boom.
Welcome back to PUBG. We already have the first players jumping out, and you can see that the direction of the flight path is probably one of the most interesting ones we have seen so far in the, well, judging from previous games, as it offers you literally the whole map. And
remember you were saying you wanted to see more house fights? I think this is going to be the game we're going to have them.
It does look like it. You can see that already players are heading towards George Pool, as well as Mighty Wolves, previously also known to love the according area. And I spotted a name there that is going to be from Four Gentlemen. They're going to be heading for that George Pool upper left-hand corner. Mighty Wolves are looking to establish themselves also there. And of course, also have Littest. So you have 3 teams in the George Pool area. That also means that they are bound for fights at some point in time there, because moving around George Pool without being spotted is a bit difficult in my opinion, just because of how the map is organized there. You have the containers, you have 1 building blocks, and then you have the higher building blocks there, so you'll always be able to spot out a player, especially if you are in the higher towers there, as the other teams are gradually approaching their own tactics towards this map. And you can see that the first circle actually is going to be with Yasnaya in the middle. So the first circle is going to be towards the upper right hand side corner of the map, meaning that both George Pool people as well as the ones that were going for, I believe, Novorepnoye, they will also need to move, and there are so many.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a fast.
Lobby.
Yeah, it's going to be fast action in the school lobby houses. It's going to be the team What Do You Mean and Accent are going to have a really fast fight. I'm looking forward to that as well. We have 2 members of the team What Do You Mean in one house and 2 other members in a house at the school.
Okay,
it looks like it's going to be a pressure from both sides there.
It depends, because obviously these two players, for them to get from the school towards this building area, it is going to be a dangerous task, considering that Senda players are sticking together as a unit. And we already have the first drops coming in. I mean, that is a knocks and a kill with a fist, notably so. And that was coming out from... So Discount Gaming have managed already to secure the first kill here in this second week of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. And also it looks like Leo LV, didn't he just spotted the player. He's making sure he's going to be taking his time. He's going to be landing a few shots, but only tags him once, I believe.
It's a tricky way to go forward with that, with just a pistol. If he would have a rifle, that's a definite kill.
Yeah, so still some amount of damage dealt to him, and I actually prefer this shotgun that he uses than the other one. I know a lot of people don't really agree with that, but I just prefer that this weapon really gets you...
Same for me as well.
It'll give you a fast
it's
knock.
It's just pam, and that's it. And it's a kill or not. You know straight away.
Like the Team Pew Pew, pam.
Yeah.
Anywho, Eucalypt from Discount Gaming is looking to stay alive as he's being hunted for by Kartoshka player that was Leo, excuse me. And you can see that also Armand's here already has managed to found an AK. And was that a third level armor?
That was a third west.
Oh, that's also a pleasant sight to see. You can see he doesn't really have that many health kits there, but does already have a second level head armor as well. So he's ready utility-wise to go, apart from finding a few more bandages and a few more first aids. Obviously, the first phase is going to start closing off within 2 minutes here. And we actually have a lobby number 9. Lietuvos Ateitis, previously one of the teams that we mentioned, currently sitting in 4th place, if I remember correctly. They have taken the military base approach. And, of course, looking for that high quality loot.
But you have to remember that it's a fast pace of the game. If right now they're going to leave... they have to leave now, the military base, to get back to the circle before everyone else.
Yes, but if you recall, the blue zone, one more time, it does deal a bit more damage, but it does move slower, so you can actually essentially at
well, but
some
it sucks to be the last
outrun
one to come to the party, right? You want the kills, you want the points.
Yeah, but do you really want to have that aggressive approach early on in the game without knowing how it's going to go? You can see actually Silo there is smartly flanking from the woods. So he understands that going in a direct line across these roads is probably not the best idea. And just to bring more reinforcements to his team, he's going to be approaching from the wood side.
So while we were watching the military base, they had a knock kill. The team, what do you mean, knocked down the player from Accenda? They picked him up, and right now I think the fight's going to start in any second.
Okay, so that's probably one of the reasons why Sila was able to approach this house already so close, and I believe he does seem to have spotted a player, and oh my god, Carterly has managed to knock out Leo of the game, so that's a man down on the side of Kartoshka team, and that is also a 15 points gained for Discount Gaming right there and then. There is already a battle happening between What Do You Mean and the Senda players as they're exchanging gunfights here, and Tomch is still with the Thompson gun. Is that a Tommy gun?
I think that was a Scar.
No, he had his in his hands a Tommy gun.
Sorry.
Anyway, it looks like Ascenda have lost a player. Yeah, Ascenda is a man down. So already, as we spoke previously in the last week, they didn't find much success, and it doesn't look like their luck is continuing to transfer on here. So
it's a really good and fast pressure from the team. What Do You Mean? Straight there. They picked one out. They had a knock before, and right now they're still pressuring the houses, and I think they won't let them leave.
And you can see Sikuan still shooting from the school towards these buildings, and I believe those shots were towards Beast, who has entered the house. As you can see, he has lost some amount of health there. This blue zone is actually already on the move. It will close within 4.5 minutes here, and actually has managed to find a car 98 and looking for Sikwan in that building, not realizing that Sikwan already has moved outside and is hiding behind the edge there on the actual school yard.
Well, I think this is the moment where the Sigmund should push out the school and try to get for more pressure. He needs to change the position because everyone knows where he is. He has to run around from one of the directions and try to surprise by that. But he's not doing that. He's still trying to get some more loot, I
Well,
guess.
they know they got a player down on the side of Ascenda, and obviously they want to make sure that they have all the possible information about where the remaining players are. So I feel like he's playing currently more like a scout role towards just giving information for the remaining of his teammates. And you can see latest here, players are extremely close to, who's that, Kiwish? And he's on the move, so I'm curious to see if they're going to actually stop in the process there, as now still Ascenda players look like sort of confused, don't understand where they're going to move. They have managed to secure themselves one kill though in the process, and that is in the hands of Tomch.
As we can see, it looks like it was an unnecessary push by the team. What do you mean? They lost one player now, and right now, if I'm correct, they're 3 versus 3. And it's a really easy pickup now, because if Accenda can show that they're a bit more organized, I think they can pick them out one by one.
Well, in that case, perhaps the initial loss of a player there is a fluke. You can see Sikwan has decided to move finally, as you said, and also looks like he's going to use the same approach his teammate had there, and is going to be approaching this building from the wood side, as one more time crossing the road directly from school is extremely dangerous. You are exposed to so many windows, and like you barely have any cover. Obviously that's not something you would like to go for here. Still another 2 minutes on the clock before phase 1 finishes off here, and can we have a look and see what's going on with the actual circle, how many other teams we have here. You have lobby number 11, that is going to be Cable Knights, have positioned themselves close left hand side from the mansion here. Lobby number 4, Garlic Cola, I believe they just lost a player there, because I did saw that small skull appear. They have gone for
They're all there. They're all there.
Okay, though. Oh.
No worries. No worries.
No worries then. It was just a glitch, as he's trying to hide the bike in the hut, I believe, but is unsuccessful in doing so. And you can see these players are going to be staying here. I'm not really a fan of these houses, just because of how exposed you are on the actual field.
If you have to get away from there, there's no actual way to get from all the corners. You can be seen from the houses or from the fields around, and this is not the point where, like, this is not the houses to have the end game in, you know.
Oh, it's definitely not an end game position. Obviously, it will last you a while, but everyone who's going to be passing by is going to see your cars, is going to see your vehicles, and obviously will know that most likely those houses are taken. Ascenda players here still looking to understand what's going on with What Do You Mean lobby, and it looks like they'll be just giving up on the fight here. As you can see, What Do You Mean players are actually leaving, so they don't want to go for this. Is now that is from lobby number 6. No organization player Kochtunic has managed to found a kill there with the Car 98.
Yeah, he found a player from the team Praise the Lord, and I think it was a long shot, because right now we can see that those two teams are right here in the Jasna and Polina houses.
Okay, so they have their little personal sniper rifle battle going on here, as we have lost the connection to the server, and we will jump back onto it shortly. So far it doesn't look like any drastically different approaches coming out of these teams. I believe also lobby number 18, which was Saber, were towards Primorsk again.
Yeah.
So they are not changing their approach in the sense of how they want to start off the game. And I mean, I'm a personal fan of Primorsk in the sense that I feel like you can find everything that you need. You can always make it in time, and like if you don't have a car available, you have boats available, and so on and so on. So and it's a relatively safe drop to go for.
We're back.
And we're back. So you can see the blue zone's really closing off here, and that is lobby number 9. Lietuvos Ateitis is still close to the edge there, as they have managed to finally get off Military Island. And
but they lost one player just now, the Lietuvos Ateitis.
Oh, they actually lost a man. Well, that is
Cygnus
unfortunate
is
news
down,
in
yes.
terms of weapons. You can see actually Kalimela has picked up the new weapon.
Well, if there's nothing else to pick up, you won't go with the fists, right?
Probably not.
I think this is one of those cases.
So I think they're just slightly reluctant to move just here based off the fact that lobby number 7 shortly from silver to LAN have spotted them and have been holding on to the weapon. Dariul has dropped content and general with the VSS. As well as now Cloudtail, excuse me, from Lidist also finding kills towards lobby number 20. That is for Gentleman. Dariul is going to quickly finish General off here. And General was just in the middle of nowhere, so I feel like he was just...
I think they got caught out of the cars. Because I think the fight happened like... They got one of their players, the Chickas, and after that, all the other teammates from the team, 4 Gentlemen, stopped by, took 2 kills with the VSS, and that's it.
Okay, so I believe there's also a player from lobby number 18 just dropped, and you can see a few kills are starting to come through here now during this move of within the final seconds of Phase 1. Phase 2 actually is about to begin here, and that is going to be 2 minutes for the second circle. So this circle has Mansion in the middle and Lipolko towards the right, and also about 10% of it is in water, meaning there's less land, more fights for these people. Lobby number 16, praise the Lord, are still going to remain in Yasnaya, and doesn't look like they're going to be moving much around. I mean, they have established their positions in these buildings. They definitely have sniper rifles, as we already saw in the kill feed previously there, so they don't feel too pressured into moving around. Voiden, poor man, is just dropping on his knees somewhere near the blue zone, I believe. Or did he just knock himself out? We cannot even find the guy.
Nope, I don't know where he is.
Oh, poor fella. Anyway, lobby number 14, Figaro 5. Pleasant sight to see that these guys are still within the game. We still have all teams available, so at least one player from all teams is still alive as we are approaching the final last minute of Phase 2 here. And starting from Phase 2 and forward on, we're going to see a lot more fights in a very brief moment.
As we can see, the next zones what we're gonna have is basically filled with houses, filled with forest. There's no plain sights that they're gonna have. It's gonna be a lot of pressure in the houses. It all turns down to how many cars they're gonna have to move their butts from one position to another place as well, and how to approach the other houses where the enemies are.
Yeah, exactly, and PI 5KNX here just dealing a good amount of damage towards the car, and lobby number 20 is going to be in a world of trouble here as Dario is already dropped and Baby goes down as well. That means only King 3D is remaining here, and they are out of the game as the first lobby to lose. So 4 Gentlemen, despite finding kills towards Mighty Wolves and dropping General out of the game, will go down as a whole unit, unfortunately for them. Picking out this house that already had players didn't help their tactics in terms of surviving, but
the fight went really well for the Lattelecom because one of their players were still sitting in the woods next to the tree.
Yeah.
Right there where the fight was happening. If the teammates were here for the 4 Gentlemen, the Xenix was here at the tree, and he had a really good position to get them all down on their knees and then finishing them off.
Obviously, that's also a lot of free loot gained, especially in a situation where you cannot allow yourselves to freely loot much around, meaning that getting these kills also has been important utility-wise and in terms of how much health they can get. Italian here, with the help of his teammates, that is going to be YZ, Igoda, and Times, are just running through these hills here. And interestingly enough, it doesn't look like Italiano has had much success in finding weapons as he's on the Mac 10. And that's still not a bad weapon to have, but I mean, you're not going to do anything with it in the long range. So it's probably going to be a bit cringy if he will have to engage into a long range fight here. But looks like Garlic Cola players might find them in a second here. I'm sure that Times already has heard sound cues coming from this building block. And the question is, will they decide to approach this, or are they going to just linger by in these woods? And also, these woods were not here initially in the game, like in the first versions of the game, and also when 1.0 came out, and they were only later added.
I think Grian just got 2 kills by car. Yeah.
Okay, so the man is a maniac on the road, and also still alive here as Eagle, one of his teammates, unfortunately, has been dropped on his knees, and I do hope that they have a smoke grenade, or at least he can get behind this rock to get some cover. Grian looking to see and make sure that the remaining of his team is going to stay alive here.
They took everyone out.
And there is a car approaching, and will they get any knocks here? Are they actually going to go for this small hut here in the middle of nowhere, as Torres has already dropped down on low HP? Also, the same goes for Grimp. Mad has been already knocked out.
Yeah, the Mad is in a different place. He's not in this fight particularly.
And when speaking of Mad, he was run over as well. So we have some crazy road rash going on here, as the drivers of these cars seem to be maniacs, as continuously kills and knocks are coming through here, but still only 18 teams are alive, and phase 3 will finish off in 50 seconds here. So these players will need to really position themselves, and Grimpq somehow doesn't manage to find that kill in that situation, and actually gets a lot of damage in return here, only using bandages here. So
this is the moment he has no helmet. There's no helmet left, right?
Yeah, I believe he doesn't. Oh no, there's it's still there. It's bad probably, but it's still there. So
my mistake.
It's fine, but they're still cornered in this small hut, and obviously lobby number 7 from Silver to LAN are looking to get these players out of the game here. Also having this top of the hill positioning, and also as you can see from Grian's position there, there's also cover, and you can always just fade away, and meaning that you can use this cover to continuously lose line of sight.
Italiano just got a kill with the MAC-10.
Okay. I called the guy out, and he managed to find a kill there. Also, Alchemists from Division, also one of the teams that you really want to look out for in this game, has managed to find a kill in the process. And Italiano just continuously wreaking havoc with that MAC-10 somehow. So he has managed to find some close range battles, as Feezy here just desperately looking to land some of these shots, and so far unable to do so. Actually, initially took a bit too small of an angle there, and was shooting the wall for a few times.
But right now, the team from Silver to LAN, they're in some sort of pickle. They're in the middle of the grounds there, but they are being shot from 2 different positions.
They have 15 seconds to move, because the next phase is about to begin, and they are not in the circle. So they're probably going to be waiting for lobby number 13 there, which is Pandora players, for them to move, as they have taken some amount of damage here, meaning that they will be healing up, and in the process they should be able to move out. I hope their cars are okay, because they are going to need them. Otherwise, it is going to be a suicide mission to do this on foot.
While these fights were happening, the 18th team that got eliminated was the team Kartoshka. They were out.
Okay, so Kartoshka is also out of the game, and now officially still 17 teams remaining here, and 53 players notably still alive. So the blue zone is on the move here. Still another 2.5 minutes on the clock before it completely closes off, and you can see lobby number 8, Mighty Wolves, are dealing good amounts of damage throughout the board here, as they have dropped 2 players, unfortunately taking damage in return towards 2 Armand, who is currently in the process of being saved, and luckily he's in sort of a ditch where the line of sight is unavailable for the enemies, meaning that they cannot finish him really off. So body's on the ground, and also a team out of the game, and that is
Pandora.
Lobby.
That's it.
Out. Pandora is out of the game, and here from Silver to LAN are actually going to run into these Mighty Wolves players here, and whoa, that should be a sight to behold, in the sense that it's really important for from Silver to LAN players to get more points in this game. Grian hearing shots, as well as you can see that both of these teammates have been knocked. He only has 1 more man remaining. Armand's desperately looking to deal damage here. Will find the cat, and also instantly will finish him off. Excuse me.
Good props from Armand. He got straight out 5 kills just in this fight. He got 2 of the team Pandora, and right now he got 2 more kills just in this fight, and before that he got 1 more. For their team, they have 4 now. I think it's a really good battle what they're having right here.
And Armand's also...
he got two enemies down on their knees, and those guns got stolen from him.
Exactly, and Arman's also still aware of the fact that one of the From Silver to Land players is knocked and is trying to find the second player, which is going to be Griant here. It doesn't look like Griant is going to be going for the res at any point in time, and Arman's looking to be, looks like he's starting to get a bit paranoid about from which direction Griant might be approaching, and little does he know that Griant is hiding as a snake in the grass.
Like, if he's sitting here and he's losing one of his teammates, Never River is somewhere dying just alone. It's a hard sight to see.
You actually made it sound so sad. But okay, so still another 15 teams. We actually have the MK coming out here. So one of the teams has managed to pick up a drop, and that is the MK14, I believe was the name of the gun. Yeah. In that weapon, and Arman's now teaming up with the help of his teammate, are looking to clear out the edge of the zone. Oh, you can see that Griant is very well aware where these players are located
at. Sweaty. You can feel that.
Just please tell me he has full auto switched on, not single fire, because then you know, you do have those moments sometimes. And oh my god, the trigger control is to the max here, as he will find Arman's looking to finish him off instantly, and will be traded out by Q-ish there in that situation. So Griant does manage to secure another 15 points for his team. Good job. I believe they also had a decent amount of kills in that situation. Still another 13 teams remaining here, and the blue zone is going to is going to move in another 30 seconds, as now Time is looking to deal damage towards these Garlic Cola players. It does get a few bullets in, but that is going to be about it.
Well, this fight was happening. The three teams that just got out is the team No Organization that got 13th place, 14th or 15th, I can't know for sure, was From Silver to Land, where we saw the Griant dropping down.
Yeah.
And as well before that, the team Ascended. They got out from the schoolhouses, but afterwards they got few kills down there, and that's it. They got eliminated. And so now we have, in the 24th minute, 12 teams and 36 people alive.
Okay, so another minute 50 on the clock here, as Phase 5 Blue Zone is already on the move there. So Garlic Cola players did go for that drop that they had nearby, and not entirely sure if they managed to actually pick it up or no, and also curious what sort of weapons they have managed to gain here. But Division players now trying to deal every ounce of damage they can towards lobby number 11, and that is going to be Cable Knights, a team that so far has been relatively silent, but it looks like they have managed to find decent success here in surviving long enough, at least till Phase 5, which is already a decent enough achievement here.
Well, what we can see from the team Cable Knights, what they're doing, they're sitting in the forest and trying to catch anyone who's getting in the zone. They're the guys that has to. They're not worried about getting in the zone in time. They have to get some of the kills right there. Those people that are getting there.
Ran over himself with a car.
Yeah, he got hit by a tree, as we can see right there.
And he's just painfully walking towards his teammates, screaming, "Help! I can't feel my feet!" And the dude's picking him up. So. Division players still obviously are in a good position also in the standings, and they're trying to survive the best they can here in this situation, as now Cable Knights are actually look like to be one of the terrors here towards the edge of the circle, and you can also see Aggressiva Betsu Pruatu one more time just picking fights left and right and shooting in every direction, as Alchemist has now managed to find a knock towards Shyness here and just spraying down.
It really fast 2 kills right there, and as we can see, he did a really good pressure for the game as he gets knocked by the frag nade. But before that, he got his teammate up. He got two enemies on the knockdown, and right now it's all about his teammates to help.
Oh, Flabber really needs to survive here and somehow try to get to his teammates, as he finds a knock himself here, and also spotted the second player. He's gonna push forward and actually will find the kill.
He got really aggressive in that fight, and it pays off. He got the kill. And probably he will be able to take one of his teammates back up as he sees the Alchemist die just in his hands. Ah, what a sight.
Like in an actual war movie.
Yes.
Of course, so him himself is wounded. This circle is probably one of the worst ones I have seen so far here, in the sense that there's a road in the middle and no buildings. And there's also an M24 in play here on the side of Litis, and that is actually K4ZZ here.
Just a second ago, what I wanted to say is that it looks like he's gonna get a good surprise in about just there, and it actually happened. He wasn't checking the behind of his, and he got dropped down. He was the only player left from the Mighty Wolves, and so that means the Mighty Wolves are out as well.
K4ZZ just having a field day here with the help of his teammates, obviously knocking down these figure of 5 players, and Armin doesn't even know where the shots are coming from. And that
Figure 5 is out.
Figure of 5 is out. They managed, I believe they stayed now currently in this game in the 10th place. There are still 9 teams remaining here, 21 people alive, a lot of sniper rifles going backwards and forwards, and no real positions to take here. And it's just awkward for lobby number 12, that is Pew Pew. There's a man down on his side, and he's unable to pick him up, as now team number 15 is Kun players actually eliminating.
Yeah, they got out the team What Do You Mean as well, and right now we got out the Discount Gaming from the game. We have only 5 teams left. As we can see, the team 10, that is the division, is out as well in the 7th place. After that, it was the team Pew Pew as well in the 6th place, and only 5 teams are left and 11 players. It was really fast. The last zone, what we had just now, took out 3 or 4 teams straight away in like 5 or 10 second period.
Yeah, so Aggressiva BESL Pro is still alive here, and obviously close by are Kun players. Now, despite the fact that Kun players don't really have much cover, I feel like they're in a solid position here, and having that hill at least somewhat playing towards their advantage. But as I say that, Italiano did manage to find a knock and a kill towards lobby number 15 one more time. That was
survived
Kun.
2 really close nades. That's a good props as well.
The man is a survivor, and you can see a player from Garlic Cola now in the middle. Is that a small hut in the middle of the zone there towards the road? Yep, that is.
That's them. That's what they do.
And of course, we have on the other side of the minimap here 3 players from Team Litest. So only 4 teams remaining here. So one more time, that's going to be Aggressiva BESL Pro, Litest, Garlic Cola, and Kun. And the next circle actually is playing in favor of Litest players here, and I feel like NBSL is also going to be a crucial factor. I don't think he should be moving here. He should be moving probably together with the blue zone only, as he provides an excellent source of information, having that different angle, and he should be able to give a good amount of information towards his teammates about where these players are.
What we just had was a really unfortunate moment. The teammate, the Yeezy Goda, got picked up, and he went outside in the blue zone and died again. So he had to be picked up twice.
Okay,
that's
well,
really unfortunate.
Understandable
in a close fight
here,
like
but
this.
phase 7, 15 seconds here as the blue zone will start to move. I will remind you, this blue zone hurts like hell, so you don't even want to touch this one, meaning that these players are going to be running non-stop here, and Warmick from lobby number 15, that is Kun, is going to most likely see these players from Aggressiva BESL Pro to move, and you can see Litest players are just taking positions here and are going to make sure that they stay alive long enough, as there is also Jansa has traveled at a huge distance on his stomach and has managed to find his way towards the circle, and Warmick unfortunately will not be able to be resurrected by his teammates.
They found him behind the rocks, and he's dead. That's it. He tried to move in a better position, somewhere between the trees or the other rocks, and he gets down. And as well, his teammate Jansa as well. And
so that is Kun out of the game here. Italiano was just spotted by K4ZZ, and I will remind you one more time, he has the M24 in hand here, so he can knock out these players relatively quickly. It looks like that is going to be the case of Garlic Cola also out of the game. They are still in the 3rd position here, and it's a match between Litest and Aggressiva BESL Pro. Both of these teams that we were talking about previously here, both of these teams love taking fights, and K4ZZ looking to find any sort of knock here with the M24.
Yeezy's dead. He got knocked down and killed straight away. Only 2 more players left. The Times and Italiano.
And K4ZZ with the aggressive.
That's it. Times is the only player, yes.
So Times in a 1 versus 3 situation here. It doesn't look like it doesn't look very likely that he will be able to get out of this, as he also has only 1 bandage remaining here, has the new weapon and a mini in hand, does spot K4ZZ, also almost going down, but of course the inevitable rain of grenades will go down on top of his head, and that is going to be Team Litest one more time winning here. So they have managed to secure themselves a very high amount
17
of
kills. And they were playing only 3.
Yeah.
One of their players didn't
3
connect.
players. So on top of the 500 points they managed to get, they're also going to get 15 points per each of those kills. In second place, we do have Agressiva and BESL Pro players. So props to them. They definitely have talked things over, and it looks like they are taking the more tactical approach. But still, we saw them trying to shoot literally anything that moves.
Yeah, almost half of the game. The houses that they got in the middle of the circle, they were staying there, getting kills all around them.
Yeah.
And I don't know how he got some kills with the Uzi from that distance, but it worked out for them as they get the second place in this game.
Also, huge props to Garlic Cola players. They're managing to secure themselves the 3rd spot. Now, obviously, that position of being the last man standing in a small hut in the middle of nowhere where everyone is around you,
it's just
you are
for the
literally
headshot.
just asking for someone to shoot you down. And of course, what we see here kill-wise, also the second place on kill-wise did manage to secure 5 kills. That's also a solid amount of points here. Same thing goes for 3rd place. 4th place, unfortunately, only 3 kills. 5th place, only 1 kill.
For the 4th position, where the team Kun got, I haven't seen them in the last week performing this well as they perform now.
Definitely.
Really good props for them. The team Kun, as they got the 4th place now. Before that, I think they got dropped out in 12, 13, 14, something around that arena.
Yes.
And now getting the 4th, that's really good for them.
Obviously, the guys are going to be in a good mood here, as well. The next map is going to be Miramar that we are going to play. The standings, I will remind you one more time, the points will be updated on the website as soon as possible. So within like 5-10 minutes, you should see the current standings updated. I will remind you, just a point of reference, the 1st place currently had something like 1,625 points. Obviously, when these standings updates, just so you know if they have done so or no. But for now, one more time, there is a giveaway in place today. So hashtag vote in the chat if you want to get 10 euros free food. If you do manage to win this giveaway, I will remind you that you will need to email us on bsl@bsl.pro. We are going to go in a very small commercial break here, and we'll try to get back as soon as possible as the new map is going to be set up. That is going to be Miramar. A lot of verticality, a lot of scopes, latest players, dangerous, hashtag vote in the chat, and you have something on your shirt.
Boop. Fuck.
Like the sound of big booming 4v4 friend fragging action? We'll fix you up. Go big, go boom with guns of boom.
Lešik, butik, jau viss ir redzēts. Killer, tas viss ir redzēts. Skandāls, secret, viss ir redzēts. Creepy, crazy, jā, viss ir redzēts.
Pārsteidz mani. Pārsteidz mani. Pārsteidz mani. Un tagad pārsteidz mani.
Lūdzu, jaunā Helio interaktīvā televīzija nomaina Lattelecom ITV. Televizors, tālrunis un planšete darbojas kā viens vesels. Tagad pārvaldi un aizraujies pilnīgi jaunā līmenī. Izklaide progresē. Helio.
Here's a little light of mine that I would never dare to find if you and I didn't collide.
All I wanna do is stay.
You've taken me by surprise. You brought me back to life. You didn't even have to try.
All I wanna do is stay.
Yeah, I'm flying away to the birds in LA and I won't be back. But I promise to you that the miles in between us will never change. The nights we stayed up, it felt our pain. Turning to love a million days wouldn't be enough, so I can't stay.
All I wanna do is stay. All I wanna do is stay.
Every time I say goodbye, missing you is hard to hide. But baby, it's worth the price.
All I wanna do is stay.
With confidence in your eyes, you've taken off my disguise. I'll never leave that behind.
All I wanna do is stay.
Yeah, I'm flying away to the birds in LA and it hurts so bad. But I promise to you that the miles in between us will never change. The nights we stayed up, it felt our pain. Turning to love a million days wouldn't be enough, so I can't stay.
All I wanna do is stay. All I wanna do is stay.
I wish that I could stay. Stop counting down the days. How bittersweet to say. I wish that I could stay.
All I wanna do is stay.
All I wanna do is stay. But nothing will ever change. The nights we stayed up, it felt our pain. Turning to love a million days wouldn't be enough, so I can't stay.
All I wanna do is stay. All I wanna do is stay. All I wanna do is stay. Send my heart into the sound, slowly drifting into your arms. It blows away in new directions. It's your turn to know something that is real. The Milky Way, I feel you splendor. You're the weakness that I find. They melt away into
Welcome back to our second game, which is going to start shortly here. But before that, I believe we're going to jump into standings here just to see the updated table. And you can see that latest players have managed to secure themselves an insane amount of points here. And they're currently sitting in first place with 2,380 points.
17 kills. They racked 17 kills with
exactly.
being only 3 players on a map. Because as we know, the player Kaworka is still traveling home. I think he's gonna join us later on, maybe this game or next game. But he's gonna be there. He's trying to get home. But 3.
But I mean, I feel like that's also a calming news for him. I'm sure he's following along as he is on the way back home, that his teammates have been successful so far. And one more time, K4ZZ definitely has been a solid pickup.
He showed what he can do with the sniper in his
Exactly.
hand. Yes.
In second place, we do have Division here with 1,820 points. Mighty Wolves have dropped down to third place with 1,715.
Yeah, I have to give a good props to Alchemist. I saw that he got a lot of kills, but only the drop downs, but not a lot of kills. He got only 4 or 5 there, but a lot of kills got stolen from him. But as we can see in the points, they overcome the Mighty Wolves.
Yeah, they have overcome Mighty Wolves. Unfortunately, General there and Content both were found in an open field. I believe, as we already spoke previously, they were knocked out of their vehicles. So unfortunate news on their side, but good news for Garlicola. Now this last placement in third place has given them valuable points, and they have moved up in the rankings from 5th place to 4th, meaning that Lietuvos players have been dropped down lower.
We saw a lot of fights for what Garlicola made in a map. And they weren't just there in the 4th place only because of the position.
Yes.
They were there because of the kills and the pressure what they gave in the map.
And also a point to make here, Aggressiva and BESL Pro players have taken a more collective approach towards this first game here, and that also has ringed in as a matter of success, as they have now managed to establish themselves within the top 8 and moved up towards the upper half of the bracket.
Just as we were speaking of the screen, we were talking about that they changed. As we can see, they changed a little bit their play style. They right now is positioning themselves in the middle of the map and covering those grounds and not letting anyone go by.
Yeah,
and we can see that helps.
And they have just decided, essentially, I think the biggest change they made is that they are not moving around that much. They're still taking as many fights as they can, but they're not moving themselves too much around on the map, meaning they're not exposing themselves so much as they did in the last week there, and that definitely has paid off so far points-wise for them.
The 8th place, Gun. This is another team that surprised me in this game. They have done something with their play style, and right now we can see that in the points. Before that, they were in the lower brackets. I think they were like in 12, 14th place. Yeah. I can't remember correctly, but right now, as we can see them in the 8th place, that's so good for them.
Okay, well, I believe we are ready. The remaining teams you can check out on our website one more time, BSL.pro/PUBG, and you can check out the standings there. We will start the server in a brief moment, and we're going to see Miramar here. So one more time, Miramar, a very versatile map in the sense of how the terrain works out here. Obviously, not a lot of trees that you can use for cover. You essentially only have ditches in the ground, and of course, moving over these hills means that you can get solid footwork done in the sense of covering ground, but ideally you would probably want some sort of like a buggy that is more appropriate for this sort of terrain.
And as I understood in a previous week, as I saw in the Miramar map, it's really crucial the first 8 to 10 minutes. What cities you pick, where you get the loot, if you have it. Because otherwise, after you finish looting, there's no more to get anywhere. You are just in the middle of the fields fighting or driving around to the next grounds where the circle going to be.
Exactly, and which also means that it is going to be crucial for you to find rifles, because obviously rifles within a long range distance are going to be a lot more valuable than, as we previously saw someone running around with the Mac 10, I believe it was Italiano from
he got 2 kills out of it.
From Aggressiva, but supportably he still, yes, indeed, managed to find a few kills in the process there. So unfortunately, it seemed like it was a slightly unlucky game for Mighty Wolves there initially, as well as, well, Division did perform well, but it looks like they were in a slightly disadvantageous situation. They're being cornered in from a few directions.
Yeah, as I believe right now all the teams are ready. We are ready as well. We're going to go for a short 1-minute break, and we're going to be back as soon as we will be ready, right? Yeah. See you in a
Go big, go boom, with guns of boom. Like the sound of big booming 4v4 friend fragging action? We'll fix you up. Go big, go boom, with guns of boom.
Welcome back, and the plane is already on the way. You can see the direction this plane is going to take approach here. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of fights happening towards Los Leones as one of the bigger cities here, and you can also see a few teams heading in the direction of Val de la Mar as well as Chumacera. They're also curious to see if anyone is going to go towards Pecado, as one more time, that is from at least public games considered a hot spot where to be in, and definitely if you are playing Miramar in public games, that's one of the places where you can practice your aim, because there's a lot of early fights in that arena happening there. And also a few teams heading towards Graveyard and Minas Generales. I don't think anyone is going to establish themselves in Graveyard, as there's not really that much loot for 4 people, but most likely someone's going to be heading towards San Martin or Hacienda del Patron. So you can see, I believe there's 1, 2, 3 lobbies towards Los Leones, but I'm sure someone is going to try and make it to Puerto Paraíso.
It's 4 lobbies.
4 lobbies, excuse me, so another lobby there. So the very first loot phase is about to begin shortly here for those who are on the ground. It already has begun, as the players are desperately looking for these rifles, as I previously mentioned here. And there are actually 2 different lobbies here. That is going to be What Do You Mean, as well as a player from Saber, was that? No, that's lobby number 19, Kartoshka players. So 2 lobbies here in Pecado, and definitely bound to find each other here. And I do like the fact that there are 3 players in arena and Leo in that gas station / casino area, as obviously that offers you a lot more information available for your teammates. And you can see these players gradually picking up a few weapons here. They're already making sure they're not going to be pushed, and you can see that Rux is in the upper floor there of the arena, trying to already throw in a solid nade into one of the windows here. Generally speaking, I do like to, when I drop down in Pecado, I do prefer to start in the arena and then clear the city from that direction, not the other way around, just because I feel like being in the arena and being in the epicenter of things, you get a solid, quick understanding where the players are within the city. And I mean, the sound cues that are passed on from there is quite informative here. And you can see Rux is now with the Winchester. I believe he spotted Silo beforehand, and the question is who's going to find who first here. Silo does have a scope available, and he just spotted the player, and actually that's going to be an instant knock there coming in. So unfortunate news for Rux.
That's what you get if you are peeking out the window without the helm.
Well, yeah, that's perhaps wasn't really thought through from the side of Rux's there. Perhaps he just wanted to lay down a solid damage on his side, but what we did just saw was Flapper going down, and that is a player from Division, and he previously definitely was one of the players that was putting up a lot of kills for his team in the first week, and obviously getting him down means that that's one man who's a very capable man with these weapons in PUBG. Unfortunately, currently is on the ground, actually out of the game. So he was finished off.
Yeah.
And Tomch here, here's one of the players running down in Hacienda, and is going to be looking for that perfect timing to strike. Obviously not willing to make too much sound cues here.
That's the 1 versus 1 battle what they are having at Hacienda. It's an unusual sight to see. Usually whenever you go in a public game, there's like 30 or 40 people down there.
Well, yeah, everyone wants to be Shroud, so
yeah.
And obviously that's not how it works in competitive. Here in competitive you have slightly different approach and rules here, because It's not about who's going to get more kills, it's about the points, but kills do give you points, and of course you want to go for them if that is justified in that situation. Gyrix has managed to found an M4 for himself there, so good news and a good sight to see. I always feel a lot better when I find like a solid rifle.
It's really unfortunate they lost the Flabber just in the first 4 minutes of the game.
True, but phase 1, 2 minutes on the clock here before the blue zone starts to move, and also Leo just had managed to take down 2 players, but he will be out of the game there. So also Tomch from Ascend was dropped by Syncopis, who was there in the Hatsenda.
Oh, the one versus one battle, yeah.
The
So
one
that
versus
means
battle.
he lost it.
Yeah, Tomch unfortunately lost it, and unfortunately for Ascended, that's bad news once again, as these players just seem to suffer unfortunate circumstances throughout the week 1 and week 2
So
now.
in Pecado right now we have 2 teams and 3 versus 3, as both teams lost one of their players in the early fight.
And you can see the players are rotating around the city here. And can we have a look at the circle one more time just to remind our viewers? So you can see that the circle is going to be more towards the left-hand side, the bottom corner. Obviously, Garlicola most likely are not going to move anywhere. They should also by now have information that they are alone in that city, and everyone else has moved away, meaning that they will have a solid game. And also, one more time, having that 3rd position in the previous game means that they have a good opportunity here to establish themselves once again and get those valuable points. I would like to see more action coming out of other teams that we haven't seen here so much shining today. That would be one of the teams, notably would be Saber, because I don't recall much action coming out from them. I mean, so far Syncopis did manage to find Tomch there.
Well,
so
they have one. They have one kill.
So they have 1 kill already here, and that is a good news. In Los Leones, we do have Agresiva e BESL Pro too, and fittingly enough, in this big city, they're met also by Pew Pew crew, who have found decent success, have found kills previously, but have failed so far to really score high points.
What's really interesting about this, in Los Leones there were 4 teams flying down, and none of them had a fight, and none of them had a loss. They all went the separate ways. 2 teams stayed in the Los Leones. One of them went down as the team, no organization went down, and then other team went to the Puerto Paraiso. That's about it.
So Pandora players in Puerto Paraiso will be forced to move soon here, as the blue zone is already on the go. But of course, this first one is giving you plenty of time to move around the map. And in general, I actually do like this circle, that it is towards the left-hand side of the map, just because there's a lot of different terrain there. There are still buildings available, and it, of course, as we already previously mentioned there, we do need scopes in this map. So Ferret here on the go with his truck, looking to pick up his teammates towards the bottom side of the map. We have lost the connection one more time, but the players are still in the server battling it out, so we will be jumping back into this. Apologies.
Well, yeah, it's good that it happens in the early. Like, it's not good that it happens, but it's better that it happens in the early game, not in the last 3 or 4 teams left, right?
Yeah, well, that kind of would suck if it would happen towards the later circles and phases of the actual game. But we'll be back here shortly as our little PUBG logo pulsates in the right bottom corner, and you can see there's still going to be a lot of rotation. And oh my god, NBS LOL from Team Lidist, and it doesn't even matter that it's him or one of the other players on Lidist's side, has managed to get to the actual drop and has picked up the big
gun.
The big boy gun.
The big boy gun.
The big boy gun.
And right now he basically he has already all set for the late game fights, and because he has the level 3 helm, level 3 gear all along, and if he finds some enemies, they're gonna be dead straight away.
Yeah, especially also with that weapon one more time. Like, if you lay down on the ground and just go for a full spray towards the vehicle, those cars just melt under the amount of bullets that are coming out of this weapon. And Silo here only has 7 bullets here, and looking to see if he can find any more players.
He got down just Ruxis somewhere in the map. He got him down and finished him up as well.
Okay, so one of Praise the Lord players has been just shot out of the game, and that was by Do Beast. So Do from Ascenda does manage to put up a positive scoreline for his team and trying to equalize the fact that they lost Tomch early on in the game. He's just making sure that there are no teammates coming to save this dude and quickly puts him out of his misery. So
some extra gear as well.
And yeah, that's what I would say. Free stuff. Free stuff, as the remainder of Praise the Lord players are in vehicles getting into this zone here. Also lobby number 14, that was figure of 5 players have managed to make it to the zone. One of the Kun players here in the blue zone, also Division Suffolk here on the move. Probably, well, luckily the first circle doesn't hurt that much, but still it's a very long flank approach they're using
Pretty
here.
interesting to see. Not only one team is moving out from the zone really late. There's 3 teams moving from the higher region and 2 more teams from the lower region moving in for the zone in really late time.
Well, just the fact that the circle was so far away from where most of these teams dropped, and Content here looking to drop one of these players. This little van is going left and right, as Content unfortunately doesn't manage to find any kills or knocks in the process, but did get to deal a solid amount of damage.
But good props for him. He got 2 of the teammates of team Pandora really low, and they will have to stop and heal up a little.
Well, yeah, they're going to have to use their utility. You can see that these players, I believe, actually swapped around in the car as well to just make sure that everyone has the chance to heal up. Litist players have already engaged in a fight, and also a Team 19 here one more time. Those are Kartoshka players that are still in Pecado here alongside of What Do You Mean? And Favorite LV here doesn't really have, doesn't have a helmet, so he's in danger of getting a quick headshot, and that means a quick knock here on his side. Of course, they would like to avoid that sort of scenario as much as possible, but you can never know what do you mean players, as the name stands, really do here.
It's been 11 minutes and they're still battling down in Pecado. That's the sight I like to see.
But another pleasant sign to see here is that Phase 2 is approaching us, and we'll start, the blue zone will start to move in the next 2 minutes here. Silo literally surviving on 1 health, and he desperately runs around the corner trying to use the first aid kit here, as Cloudtail in the process from Team Lidist has managed to find a knock towards lobby number 14. That was one of the figure of 5 players, and they were he's actually alone here in this building. Unfortunate news, and probably like an unlucky peak, but
that's it for him.
Yeah, he's definitely done for. Cloudtail just quickly runs in. Armand has managed to kill himself, if I understand the kill feed correctly. Cloudtail did put Armin's out of his misery. So Armand's.
It looks like that's it for him.
Yeah. No, of course, like there's no one coming. He's in the blue zone. He's all alone and experiencing a very sad and quiet death. Eucalypt looking to try and survive this blue zone as he is moving towards the second circle, and you can actually see that a lot of gunfire happening here. Armands did eventually bleed out there in the blue zone, as a lobby number 11 Cable Knights putting up one more time solid kills on the board here and earning some extra points in their favor. So still all teams are alive, but there are only 67 players on the server. 66 if we take into account that Alchemist just managed to find a kill in the process, and King 3D all alone, all by myself.
Again, how does he find himself all the time alone somewhere in the mountains?
The dude's a loner. He's a lone wolf. We have Mighty Wolves, and then we have Team 20, which is 4 gentlemen and 1 lone wolf.
Yeah, that's about it.
I mean, perhaps the guy's role is to be the lurker. I just don't really see how it pays off in the long run, because it's not like he's hiding. He's like pretty much in the open for a lot of the times.
In that moment, he got shot from 2 sides. The team Cable Knights and the Division were shooting him down, and he got away as well. Well,
yeah,
he knows what he's doing.
Well, I suppose. I'm not going to argue for sure. I mean, King 3D probably plays better than me, so why not? But You can see with the M4, he's going to be moving around this edge of the circle here. And I do actually like Division's positioning. They're towards, on the top of the map, towards the hills, position themselves in this smaller area and also have a good amount of cover here. Suffolk also did manage to find a kill in the process in team lobby number 12. That is Pew Pew. Are pew-pewing bullets towards a different lobby across the map there. So still, all teams somehow, despite the amount of kills that are coming out here, I feel like almost each team has lost a player, apart from Littest.
Yeah, they're still rolling around.
They're still lit.
Yes.
It's never gonna get old. Yes, there's still a trio around here, as now Discount Gaming will lose a player. And in the last week, we did see Discount Gaming performing relatively well. They actually were putting up a good amount of kills, and also their positioning wasn't the worst. But it doesn't look like that this first game nor this second is playing into their favor so far, as they are losing players along the way. And first, we have What Do You Mean out of the game? Or
no, Kartoshka.
Kartoshka. We have Kartoshka out of the game.
Aww.
So sad news for them. But it is what it is. You have to deal with the reality, as phase 2 will close off in 15 seconds here, and that means that more action-packed fights are on the way, as obviously this is going to be a terrain-based fight, judging by the looks of things.
Yeah, what is really interesting to see right here, we have still one team in the blue zone trying to get back, slowly crawling back to the zone to play the game. That is the team 15.
Team number 15, that's Kun players here,
yes.
As we will be kicked out of the server, I think, one more time in a second here, as everything has frozen. That is the case. I believe our game crashed. So,
yeah, looks like it.
phase 3 did just begin a small moment ago, so hopefully we will be able to get back into the server shortly here. So all in all, in general, so you have a few buildings in the actual third phase zone here, just a small section of a few of the towns, but in general we saw Littest players relatively closer to the center of the circle pose themselves up on top of a hill. You have on the very top hand side of the map Division players, who are definitely not going to move early on, as they are in a very good position to scout out what exactly is going to happen in front of them. They were taking some shots from one of the directions, and I also believe Aggressiva BESL Pro players did manage to spot where players from Team Littest were, and there are more towards the bottom left corner.
Really early in the game, a lot of teams lost some crucial players for their own sake, and it was really stupid way to lose them. Like for the extended, they lost Tom somewhere in the houses that he shouldn't be.
He died in Hacienda del Patron too. I believe that was from Saber Tinkopis. That's who he died to. So,
so we still have 19 teams. We have 56 people alive. Well, 55. Just in a second, the Mad Kid got down the Mysteries.
Ooh, and that's one of them. Garlic Cola players going down here. I hope that doesn't bite them in the back. But as we already have seen previously, Garlic Cola players feel comfortable enough playing solo or in pairs. So I don't think they're going to be too sad about it. But of course, still feels bad, man, that you have to lose a man.
Only one kill for the Team Littest. Have you seen that? 17 minutes in the game and only one kill. I think it's unfortunate that they haven't found anyone to kill.
Well, perhaps nobody wants to approach them. Maybe everyone's just running away. They're like, no, I'm being hit from like 500 meters away. That's for sure Littest players. We are not going in that direction. Maybe that's the case. You don't know. Anyway.
But this is the closest team that they could get the fight with. It's the Figure 5.
Figure of 5 are picking a fight with K4ZZ here. So a few shots exchanged, and of course they are going to be looking to play the edge of the circle here. Doesn't look like they decide that they will be changing up their pace or positioning. And of course, Team Littest holding on to these buildings, having essentially a 360-degree view around the place, meaning that they cannot essentially be flanked as long as Cloudtail and K4ZZ continuously scout throughout the map. And we can see that on the kill feed, there's a lot of kills happening backwards and forwards here, as Dariul has managed to find one of the What Do You Mean players and managed to knock himself, managed to get him out of the game.
The 4 gentlemen are out. That's it. That was the last players of their team, and one of the players from the Mighty Wolves got him got the last members of the 4 gentlemen. And that's it.
So K4CZ putting up another kill here for his team. So that's already 2 kills on the side of Team Littest. And accordingly, team number 9 here, Lietuvos is just positioning themselves towards the edge of the circle. Ooh, and this is going to be a fun one, as the teams will need to move in from every direction into the circle, meaning that the teams that are within the circle will really need to pick their battles and which direction they will be looking forward to. Tinkupis has gone down from Team Saber there, and I believe he still has a teammate alive. Yeah, that's going to be Senso sitting in the blue zone, just trying to survive here, and it doesn't look like
he loses the last of his teammates, and he's alone now in the fort.
Oh, he's not going to make it.
He has one more health pack. He has to use it now.
No, he's sliding off the hill. He cannot. Oh my God,
he can do it. He can do it.
Can he make it?
The last sticks.
Oh, my man. Okay, so the dude's alive. He's going to heal up in a moment here. And, of course, he will be playing the position game now, where essentially he's just going to try and hide and survive for as long as possible. And you can see lobby number 12 Pew players are bound to run in from Silver to LAN players here, and looking to see what they can do. Is Vaser from that is Discount Gaming? Yeah, that's Discount Gaming.
While all these fights were happening, or after the last game what we had, we were saying that Kun showed themselves, but right now they got out at the 17 team, and right now we got out the 16 team, and that is, I think it was Saber. No, it was
Saber. Lobby number 18 is out of the game here. So still 16 teams available, 46 players alive, as phase 4 is already on the way. It's still another 2 minutes before the time runs out, and you can see Shyness here looking to return the favor with those Car 98 shots. Doesn't really manage to spot any players just yet. PI 5KNX, God, what a nickname, is just hiding behind one of the cylinders there in the backyard area. Lobby number 14 is going to run into Aggressiva BESL Pro here in a second, as one of the players, Italiano, is down. I believe that was down by themselves. And the grenade, oh, that's actually a Molotov being thrown their direction. You don't really see that happen too often. Definitely not in the public games, as now Italiano has managed to get back up onto his feet, is going to drop a smoke on top of himself, and we'll just use the boosters to make sure he's back on full health. And there is a flank coming in from lobby number 12, and that is going to be Grim finding one of the players here, as Torrentes finds a second, and the kills going backwards and forwards here between these two. Who will battle it out? As now only Madkid standing here for his team. He sees the players being resurrected here, and that is going to be lobby number 14 out of the game by lobby number 12. So Pew, good job from them, as he also is going to manage to pick up his teammates in a timely fashion. There is still another minute on the clock, but little do they know that Aggressiva BESL Pro players are literally just around the corner. Obviously, they heard this a lot of action happening. They are pushing towards the edge of the circle, knowing that these players will need to heal up, and essentially that should be free kills for Aggressiva BESL Pro if they do it fast enough. And actually, Cloudtail, just noticed, Cloudtail actually has been dropped, and he's looking to get back up, as we are looking to get back in.
Oh, something happened?
I don't know. Not entirely sure what's happening right now. Unfortunately, it seems that our PC has breathing problems. Maybe, potentially, Control-Alt-Delete saves the day. Is usually, apologies one more time for these technical difficulties we are experiencing here. We did ran some tests early on, and
this is the part what I really wanted to see. Right now, they dropped down one of the teams on the mountains, and he had to pick up 2 of his teammates in a moment where Aggressivas were pushing them.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that was the fight for the Aggressivas to take, and I think they weren't so confident about it. That's why they weren't pushing it.
They didn't know how many players are already on their foot, but regardless, in that situation, I feel like that push is completely justified. You know those players are going to be on low HP, they're going to be healing, someone's going to be resurrected, and they're obviously not going to expect the fact that someone so quickly and so close was to them and pushed. I think they were only like 100, 150 meters away in that situation.
It was a nade throw away.
Yeah,
it was so close.
So phase 5, 20 seconds on the clock here. We are looking to get back into this gradually here. As you can see, Aggressiva and BESL Pro are doing exactly what we were speaking about before here. Mad Kid, the only man standing on his foot, does spot one of the players here, and it looks like he'll be looking to cut away. He actually decides to go for the shots in this situation, meaning that he's giving away his position. Does bring out the big boy's gun, and unfortunately doesn't manage to land any shots here as he's being flanked from all directions, and he will go down. Also, we do have 11 teams still on the board, 33 players, phase 5, a minute 50 on the clock here. So Aggressiva and BESL Pro are looking to pick up all these sniper rifles, bullets, health, and so on. As you can see, YZI Goda has so much, so many bandages and first aids on him. You can see also how much damage this blue zone deals right now. Content with his team is going huge. That's Mighty Wolves taking out a lot of these from Silver 2 LAN players. I think the team is still alive, but barely, I would say, at this stage, as there's only Miket and LQFTW standing here, and LQ is in a world of trouble as he actually manages to get a drop onto a player, quickly falls back, but he will be shot down in the back by Paharet. A lot of action happening here as only 10 teams now remaining. That is from Silver 2 LAN players out of the game, currently in the 11th position. And notably
Mighty Wolves are out as well. They got picked out by the Alchemist. Just now in a second, yeah.
Yeah, so that is Division taking out Mighty Wolves there in that situation. 8 teams remaining here, and notably also, quick fun fact, Mighty Wolves meet from Silver 2 LAN players, second map in a row now. Unfortunately for them, they constantly need to battle it out. So Alchemist in the process has managed to find another knock towards Praise the Lord team, and he hears players close to, oh, that was actually his teammate. Sorry, confusion here, that's fine.
And that was the one of the last members of the team, Praise the Lord, and that means the team is out. Right now we have only 7 teams left in our game. Those are Division with 2 left members of their team. We have Discount Gaming with 3 members there. We have Cable Knight with 11 members. We have as well Godly Cola, No Organization, Litest, and Aggressiva but Suprato.
Yeah,
with
so
all 4 members, I have to note.
Litest players unfortunately have lost one of their guys, and looks like Aggressiva and BESL Pro, at least judging by their firepower, are looking to be strong in the game. Somehow, I don't understand how, but Garlic Cola players still, one more time, a pair of them, are still alive, taking a few shots in their direction, or at least above them, and that is going to be the lobby number 6, that is No Organization players. Also considered to be really good players, but previously haven't really found so much success in these first games that we had here last week. And curious, actually, I don't know if you noticed, but there are a lot of silencers on these sniper rifles. I saw there was one on Alchemist's weapon, Paharet had one of the M24s from another team had a silencer on top. So obviously having a silencer and shooting from a distance above 200-300 meters means essentially that the enemy probably will never even guess from which side you were hitting him, which should give you more possibilities. As now Garlic Cola players actually decide to move out here towards this building, and that is going to be lobby number 11, Cable Knight.
And in back of them there's Aggressiva but Suprato as well.
Oh, this is going to
Aggressiva
are one more time finding themselves in a position where they will be greeted by already an ongoing fight. So the question is how they decide to approach this, but they need to get into the zone. They only have a minute and 20 on the clock here, and Hitas is going to take down Killers 3000, and that is going to be one of the Garlic Cola players out of the game, and that's the whole lobby out of the game. And also, Litest is out of the game.
Litest was the 17th that got eliminated in this match that we have right now. And only 6 teams are left.
Okay, so one of the Garlic Cola players actually is still alive. My apologies for the confusion there previously, as now Aggressiva but Proto players are approaching, and RQQE also has the Groza in hand, and I love that weapon. It's such a scary sight to behold when someone is shooting that gun, and you can see exactly why, as he has managed to take down Hitas here. Quickly, guys are gathering their loot, healing up as they have established their position in this building, and they still have all 4 players alive. Of course, the other teammates from Cable Knight in this second building are aware of the fact, and PY PI5KNX. Well, he's going to give away his position with that grenade. Unfortunately, he doesn't get it into the window somehow, but...
In this game, nades are pretty tricky, you know, you have to
Yeah,
remember
they
that.
work in weird ways. We also have lobby number 7, which is Discount Gaming, previously talked about. They had mediocre success in the first week. They are now currently in the amongst the last 6 teams, and they are also positioned themselves very good here, as now no organization
really
players
smart
are on
position.
the edge of the circle, and no organization are going to be so happy about their position. These players that are towards the bottom side of the circle from the organization are in a perfect moment because they have the smaller edge of the circle, they have the terrain advantage on their side, and they will also have height advantage above division players who are on the other side of the road here. So essentially they should just be watching out for their left hand side and occasionally checking towards their right hand side. But there is going to be a lot of firepower here as RQQE, I for the life of me cannot say that nickname correctly for the first time, has managed to find a shyness here as well. So that should be only one more knight standing in the way of Aggressive BESL Pro to landing another full lobby kill.
That's the Goroza in the fullest, in the close counters. As we could see, they pushed the houses one by one. They got the kills with the Goroza, and as well, one by one, they found the enemies. They pushed them out from their spots and just picked them out. They left them without defense, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Italiano here now. Looking to take any advantage he might have over this height, and manages to find players here as he's raining down hell upon them, looking to see if he can knock anyone out, obviously passing on the information to his teammates, and they are 3 of them pushing extremely quickly to no organization. That is going to be no organization out of the game. One more time, no win for you guys, as Times now deploying smoke grenades here. They are going to be moving around, and that is Italiano also has managed to find a vehicle. Did they forget about one of the Cable Knights players? He's still alive, Karalius.
Yes, he's still there. Karalius is still there in the houses, and he's pushing behind them. Really smart play by him. I think he's gonna play the long game and try to push into the zone with them and try not to get picked out by the other teams around them.
Now the problem is that Karalius hears shots from the right hand side as well as shots from the left hand side. Alchemist has managed to find RQQE here and looking to finish him off. Did take a slightly longer than he was expecting probably in that situation, and he also just noticed the person going behind the tree, and Karalius in an excellent position here, finding extra kills for his team, does manage to get one of the players on the side of Aggressiva out and just hiding in the smoke here as he is looking for some sort of sign cues. Karalius, excellent plays coming out from him. He's going to be smoking himself off here, obviously obscuring as much vision as he can and just causing chaos. There's a player literally left to you. Karalius, turn around, dude, and he finds the kill on the guy as well. Excellent play from him. Only YZI Goda remaining here on the side.
He gonna have the zone for the next fight as well. If he decides to stay there, remember is the Yoda that's gonna be pushing up, and if he lives, he can take the game.
Oh, and Karalius.
Yoda is out.
Carterly somehow managed to save life of Karalius as YZI Goda was pushing up and he was instantly taken down. That is still another 2 division players remaining here. Alchemist and Gyrix. Alchemist dropped down to to low health in that situation as he's taken a lot of damage. Gyrix, previously already known as a solo player that can deal immense amounts of damage, and still Discount Gaming are sort of looking to steal this away unless Alchemist with the help of Gyrix can find a lot of kills. Only 3 teams remaining here, and of course Karalius being the solo guy. That flashbang from Alchemist, an excellent play coming out from him, trying to use every bit of utility he can, but he's being cornered in from 2 sides. He does spot one of the players, deals good amount of damage, will get the knock, and looking to get the second, will get the second knock as well. So 2 players from the side of Discount Gaming are on the ground here. Alchemist pushing with the help of Gyrix, looking to see if they can knock them, get the remaining players out. And then Division, in an unlikely turn of events, have managed to finish these players off. Karalius did just give away his position by killing off one of the players, but that's 15 points stolen from Division.
Away from the Division as well, yeah. And right now, as we can see from the grounds, we have a perfect place for the Karalius to sit behind the burning car. No one's going to shoot him down there. We have the Cartelli alone there in the mountains, and it looks like the Division going to be pushing him down.
Yeah, I believe their position is known, but they don't know that he has the Groza in his hand, and he will quickly drop Alchemist, but he will be out of the game as now GOEX and Alchemist remaining here. Alchemist should be picked up here, I believe. That will be possible with the help of GOEX. Obviously, he's making sure that nobody else is pushing him, and that is Karalius smartly now trying to find the position of these players.
He's 1 versus 1. I think he knows. He understands it. He's in 1 versus 1 position against the division. He shouldn't let them pick the teammates out.
Alchemist was just picked up. Obviously, him not knowing where exactly these players were would be a dangerous push.
That was the moment to push for the win, and I think it was a wrong play in my mind. I would say so, because right now he's going to be taken from 2 positions, as we can see, and I think that's it for him.
Yes, if one of the players is going to show up here, that is going to be an instant kill on the side of Alchemist, and that is Division players, as I already previously said, in an unlikely turn of events there, being against one solo man and another full 4-man squad in that situation. So Division will steal away the win on the second map here on Miramar, and congratulations to them. It was definitely really needed for them, and you can see they also did manage to rack up a good amount of kills, a total of 10, and Flabber unfortunately didn't get any kills because he went down very early on in the game. I believe he was one of the first kills on the server.
The best play of this game that we just had was from the Karalius.
Cable Knight's Karalius.
I don't know.
Somehow, miraculously.
Where did he came out? Like, how did I forget that there's one more teammate in the house?
Well, he probably left his teammate behind as he was already knocked, and then just decided, somehow managed to find the perfect timing for flanking and moving throughout the terrain and surviving in that way. So still Cable Knights, so that's a lot of points gained for them for the second position. Yes. They also have managed to find 5 kills in total in this game. In third place, we have how many kills there? That's like another 8 kills in third place. Fourth, we have another 6, and fifth, we have only 3. So props to these teams. Aggressiva BESL Pro. Unfortunately for them, it didn't really play out until the very end, but they had 2 situations back to back where they were running into already.
They did what we saw in the last games in the previous week. They were just slaughtering through. They were pushing one house by one house. Yeah. They got what they wanted, but at the end they weren't. They couldn't imagine that there's one more player in the behinds of them.
And that really literally bit them in the back, as Karalius did manage to find 2 kills there in that process, and he was saved by one of the players from Discount Gaming. I believe that was Carterly who managed to knock down one of the players that was pushing him.
And unfortunately for the team Litters, they only ranked the 7th place.
Yeah, so they lost a player early on in the game. That was Cloudtail. Not that early, but it was like phase 3 or 4, if I recall correctly. Somewhere in the hills, he was knocked down, and they were unable to pick him up. Also, Alchemist went huge in that situation against Discount Gaming, where he, with the mini, managed to get quick 2 kills, and then afterwards, with the help of GOEX, they did manage to secure that third
Alchemist,
one.
He's really good with the auto snipers. This is not the first game I see him playing with a mini sniper, and he's really precise with him, and he's taking the kills left and right.
Yeah. So mini definitely a solid pickup, especially when the players are on the move. But for now, the next map and the third game, one more time, is going to be played once again on Erangel here in our second week of Baltic eSports Player Unknown's Battlegrounds matches. Standings, do we have standings? I think we're going to check out the standings when we come back from our commercial break. But one more time before we are heading into a pause, a hashtag Vault in the chat. Be subscribed to our channel to make sure you are eligible for 10 free euros worth of food, and we'll play it out, I think, soon enough. Probably somewhere during the next match, you will be able to already start ordering your stuff. So stay tuned. We're going to head into a small commercial break, but when we come back, it's going to be Erangel PUBG Game 3 Week 2.
And while we are gone, check the standings, because they are there already. See you in a second.
Killer, tas viss ir redzēts. Skandāls, secret. Viss ir redzēts. Creepy, crazy. Jā, viss ir redzēts.
Pārsteidz mani. Pārsteidz mani. Pārsteidz mani. Un tagad pārsteidz mani.
Lūdzu, jaunā Helio interaktīvā televīzija nomaina Lattelecom ITV. Televizors, tālrunis un planšete darbojas kā viens vesels. Tagad pārvaldi un aizraujies pilnīgi jaunā līmenī. Izklaide progresē. Helio.
The sound of big booming 4v4 friend fragging action? We'll fix you up. Go big, go boom with guns of boom.
Chase what you've been dreaming. For you I strive. And every week is a season. The winter's got my knuckles bleeding, but I don't mind. Sometimes I think that I could feel it. It keeps my time. And every night when I'm dreaming, feels like I'm falling through the ceiling. No, I don't mind, no. Just falling apart. The king's horses and men couldn't mend what is left of my broken heart. And now I finally realize it's what keeps me in line. No, I don't mind. No, I don't mind.
Yeah.
Hi, welcome back. It's going to be game 3 in a moment here, but before we jump into game number 3, one more time, congratulations to our second game winners. That is Team Division.
Yes.
So valuable points gained on their side, and obviously they have managed to close the gap between themselves as well as Team Elitist in the standings here. Speaking of standings, we're going to check those out in a second here. So currently in first place, we still have Team Elitist sitting here with 2,615 points. So unfortunately, in this second game, they scored somewhere around 5th to 7th place, something like that.
Yeah.
So obviously, the amounts of points they got were not as many as they
so what
expected.
they had was the 7th place and only 3 kills in the last game. So that means in the brackets in the total, they were moving really high up. And well, the first game is right now holding them.
Yeah,
first place.
of course, because the amount of kills they gained, and one more time
Yeah.
they did manage to win the first game. In second place, we do have Division, currently sitting with 2,470 points. So essentially, after this match, if it goes well for them and it goes all south one more time for Littis, they essentially Division could overtake them. Third place, Garlic Cola, so a huge leap for them today in the standings.
Yeah,
with
and
1,900
this
points.
leap is not made by them performing really good. It's made by Mighty Wolves performing really bad, and that's why they are overcoming them. And that's
Strong words.
that's a strong finger for the Mighty Wolves, because well, they are where they are. They're in the 4th place. They started today really good, and right now they're in the 4th place. They have to get their team together and start performing really well.
So Mighty Wolves 2 games in a row have run into the lobby of lobby number 7. That is from silver to land. So obviously they have continuously had problems in terms of having to battle out what looks like battles that they were not expecting to have or take. They just literally ran into these players 2 games in a row now.
And really good props for this from silver to land, because they are getting some kills as well, and they are damaging the team when they meet.
Exactly. So in 5th position, we do have currently Aggressiva BESL Pro, as well as followed by Lietuvos Ateitis, and 7th place currently held by Praise the Lord. Towards down the tabloid, we have Discount Gaming as well as No Organization. Both of these teams have managed to secure a good amount of points this week already here, and obviously have moved up in the standings from silver to land. In the beginning of today, we're still in 6th place, currently in place number 10.
They are slowly, but as we saw last week, they can leap really fast.
They can go for a huge leap in terms of these points.
And
so
from one of the last positions in the brackets, we have the Cable Knights in the 13th place right now. They had the 2nd position in the last game by the marvelous play from the Karalios.
Yeah, so Karalios did manage to one more time backstab Aggressiva BESL Pro players. They actually managed to get 2 kills in that situation, and one more time was saved by the fact that one of the Discount Gaming players did manage to eliminate the final.
And as well, you have to give a big props with his smoke play. Whenever he got a kill, he was throwing the smokes onto him, trying to understand where the positions are of the different enemies, and then moving on, picking one by one out.
Also, one more time, showing why it is extremely important to have a lot of smokes on you on this map.
Utilities have a big power.
Of course, yes. And one more time, I just recalled that you don't see flashbangs used that often, but Alchemist was in a position where he threw a flashbang just to at least say, if he doesn't even flash the players, at least they don't hear anything, and that means like they get slightly confused.
And
about what's going on.
when you hear that pop, you instantly think, what is happening?
Yeah.
Why we have a flashbang now?
Why do we have flashbangs? Anywho, it looks like we'll be ready to jump in this 3rd game in a brief moment here, as it is going to be played on Erangel one more time. So what do you think? Like, first map was won by Littis on Erangel. Do you think they'll be able to follow up their success in this map and do it again today? Or are we going to see perhaps finally Aggressiva BESL Pro taking the win away?
As we can see right now in the team lobby, we have the Kavorka.
Yes.
So that means he's back home.
And that means they're going to be playing 4 people instead of 3.
Let's hope they're going to be 4 now playing.
So if they're going to be 4 in the first game, while still being in a 3-man lineup, they did manage to secure 17 kills. Do you think they can get 20? I mean, it's a ridiculous thing to ask.
It is possible.
It is of course possible, but this is still eSports side of approach towards PUBG, not like in public games. In public games, getting 20 kills is relatively easy.
We both have done that.
Yeah.
But in tournament, I think we haven't
No,
been that
tournament
close.
is next level,
No,
so
no.
obviously that once again would be an extreme amount of points gained on their side. So finally, we do get to see, as I already spoke before, when we saw this on Miramar as well, you can see that the teams are taking a more serious approach to how they position themselves on the map, how they move, and so on. Apart from King 3D, the guy who's
in the
always
middle
alone
of the field.
in the
Why? Again, he's just, hey, this is a field. This is gonna be my home now. This is my window. This mountain is my window. These are my doors.
Well, he hasn't laid in the car upside down yet, so...
Maybe he's in a different level of metagame, you know?
Maybe he's trying to create a new metagame.
Who knows?
You never know.
Maybe later on...
If it works out for him at one point in time, everyone's going to be like, oh, well, this is the proper approach to have in that case.
Yeah. Okay, so we're playing the King 3D, yeah? All right, that's it.
So I believe we're going to be starting now, as I think we have all the players on the server here already, and we will be jumping into Erangel. Also curious to see what sort of flight path we're going to have, as obviously previously in the first game we had the one that split the map in half horizontally, which is a very interesting sight to see.
And the zones that we had in that map was really packed with the action. There was only the houses and the trees and a little bit of fields, not that much.
Not that much, correct.
Yeah.
So one more time still, I would personally hope for a really nasty zone for these players.
You want to see some action with the boats, right?
I want to see some action with the boats. I want to see crazy stuff happening. I want to see like a zone that's like 20% water and then just continues going towards the water area, pushing everyone towards the beach.
Or I want to see a bridge camp. You know, we haven't seen it yet.
Bridge camps, yeah.
It's a nasty thing to do, but it's still there in the game.
Of course, it's still in the game, and that is also one of the ways how, as long as you can make sure that you are going to be safe on the actual bridge, that is one of the ways how you can approach the game.
It looks like we jumped into the game. Don't forget to write down hashtag Vault, because somewhere in this game, we're going to do the giveaway, and one of you going to go home, well, sit in a home with more food in their belly. I really enjoy it, right?
I can tell. So
you bugger. All right, so we're gonna go for a really, really fast commercial break. Let's see each other after less than 1 minute.
The sound of big booming 4v4 friend fragging action? We'll fix you up. Go big, go boom with Guns of Boom.
Wow. Hi, we're back. Well, we were just displaying our wows about the trajectory, of the actual plane. So the flight path is an interesting one here. Obviously, it's going to take a good amount of effort to get to the side of Milta Power and as well as Novorepnoye. And you can see instantly team lobby going for Primorsk, I believe.
It looks like two teams wanted to get the team to the Primorsk, but they're changing the flight pattern of theirs. In the middle of the map, we have a lot of teams dropping out. It looks like it's going to be a really good fight in the Ponchinki and somewhere around the areas of that. As well, we have some teams flying down to the George Bowl for the really early drops and really early equipment for them. As well, we have a lot of teams going to the Rozhnok and school area. It's around 4 or 5 of them, and as usual, a few teams going to Yashnaya and shooting range in Severnya.
Yes, so I believe that's no organization players that are heading towards Severnaya. A decent town to loot for sure, and usually you get some sort of means of transportation from there as well. Especially if you are flying over there, it's of course very easy then afterwards to spot any other players around when you are landing, and of course knowing that position where they will be. Primorsk here is occupied by Pandora players. Previously in the first week saw that Saber players would actually prefer this one, and we actually have the first circle here now. You can see that a good amount of it is engulfed by this riverside. There's also a vehicle heading towards Military Island, so one of the teams have decided to go for that. Props to them, as of course if you have a car you can make it there, quickly loot it and get back to it. Garlic Cola players here, PI5KNX, the man with the my favorite nickname, is running towards one of the buildings, as Miket has managed to find a kill with a car. And also one of other teammate from Figure 5 has been dropped here, and you can see.
This is not the first kill what they have with the car today from silver to land.
Yeah, these guys apparently are maniacs on the road.
Exquisite drivers, I must
say.
say.
Exquisite drivers, extra good stuff coming out from them, of course, getting their early advantage. So you can see Armins is already out of the game for Figure 5 here, and the remaining players are forced to flee.
Grian is going for the blood with the car, trying to find whatever the last member was there, and it's straight on. It's like they see him through there.
Oh my god, yeah, he's going for the knock with the car. Is not going to be successful. Jumps out with the revolver here, looking to drop the player, will do so. So that's another kill going to be heading their way. They actually just want to finish him off with the car in that situation. So just a bit of humiliation coming out through, but that's already 2 people lost on the side of Figure 5, meaning they will be forced to take a more passive approach here.
As we can see, 2 teams are right now in the Pochinki. That's one of them are 4 gentlemen, and the other one is Aggressive but Supruatu. And right now, the few shots have happened in the town. I think they're gonna start getting into the action pretty soon.
Yeah, so of course having the fact that you have Aggressiva Betze Proto in this town alongside of 4 gentlemen means that you cannot really freely loot around the town that easily as normally you would do so, but still this side where 4 gentlemen are positioned in Pochinki still offers a good amount of weapons as well as utility usually, so I don't think they will be actually forcing their way into the other side there. You can see also Cable Knights have positioned themselves good around these lobbies here, and as I say so, Shrinas has managed to find Grian here and actually knock him as Miket seems to be fleeing. So Grian, unfortunately, that is going to be it for him, what it looks like at least here in this current game.
What I didn't know that there was only 1 player in this little town down there, and they were just driving by or trying to get some loot, and he caught them surprised without their pants on, as they say.
Yeah, exactly. So Shinas, good job for him. One more time, Cable Knights also one of the teams that looks like have made their proper adjustments here, and Grian is heading towards the water, hoping to kill himself and to deny these points.
No, 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 no. No, 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 no. He's getting for the last swim of his time of this game. Well,
I'm not entirely sure why didn't Shinas finish him off. I think he was unsure of the fact if there are any more teammates around, just by judging the fact that he has taken a more passive approach, and Grian is going for his final swim here as he's crawling into the water and will be fading away. Isn't that beautiful?
Well, goodbye.
Bye. Well, he drowned, so points denied.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's really... Yeah. Oh, that's a smart play out of him.
Of course.
That's the next level metagame what we were thinking about.
Yeah.
It wasn't just for the scenery, it was for the points.
Of course.
So others don't get
no,
them.
he's not that much of an emo guy. He just wants to deny these 15 points. But how does it really work? Because Shinas has 1 kill added to him, so I think it counted.
I think he killed someone before.
Okay.
Good
Well,
news.
still though, with the 3x on this new weapon, he also has managed to find that gun in the process of looting here and killing off Griant.
So
Suffolk all along.
while everyone is still looting, let's talk about the zone a little bit.
Yeah,
this
sure.
is the most centric zone which you can actually have. We have all the biggest cities in there, and a lot of players will be able to just stay in the zone, wait out the time, and then move on whatever action that's going to be for them. And as we can see, there's a lot of cities that there's only 1 or 2 teams in there, and they're not really fighting down there. As you can see, there's a little fight there. Let's go there and see. That's the LQ getting down the Tratata.
Yeah, so they're looking to return the favor to the side of Cable Knights and avenge Grian's death, and have successfully done so, as there is another player from Cable Knights relatively close by making a lot of noise with that bike, but he's not going to be stopping anytime soon. Obviously just looking to see towards which direction he should go, and I actually am kind of curious, where would you go in that situation that early on here, as obviously Pochinki is not really a safe option, as there is already a fight happening here between 4 gentlemen and Aggressive BESL Pro, and RQQE has managed to knock down Dariul here, and that is an excellent pickup from them so far, and he's just looking to see if there will be any players showing themselves, as he's going to be positioning himself closer to this knocked player, looking to cross over, and the bullets are missing him, so he does manage to get through this 3-story building here. Is going to be positioning himself higher and perhaps from the upper floors.
But someone has to go to the house and pick up the Dario right down there, and Arkio, I think he holds the ground in that house to prevent that from happening. He's gonna go to the highest floor and see if he can find someone and pick them out while they move to the other house.
Well, realistically, Sikis here should have gone for that pickup already. He can just safely jump out from behind the building, and is going to be looking to see if he can pick it up. His teammate is actually not doing it just yet, and RQQE, using the height advantage, has managed to spot 2 players, so that's a lot of information passed on to his teammates as well, and he just saw the player crossing over, trying to deal a lot of damage here. Will get a solid 2-3 hits onto him, Baby forced to heal up here, and obviously there should be a flank started from this point in time from the players for Aggressive BESL Pro, and that is not the case, so they are just looking to have a standoff, and they are just not going to allow these players to move on, as Dariul actually bleeds out.
Yeah. He got the RQ got the time that they wanted to hold the house so no one can enter in, and it worked for them really well.
Oh, that's unfortunate news for the side of 4 gentlemen, as I feel like that definitely has been a mistake, as now King 3D has been spotted and has taken a good amount of damage towards him. He only has the Vector in hand as far as we can tell, and has only bandages available.
He's holding the house alone. There's few like this is the closest he's been to the teammates in all this season.
I mean, they start off together and then afterwards split apart, so perhaps it just didn't have the opportunity to run away now, as he does hear sound cues made by Italiano here, so just peeking, does spot the player, is not taking any shots just yet, wants to make sure where the other player is, as he knows 2 different sort of weapons were shooting at him beforehand, meaning those players are moving together, and essentially they are being slowly sandwiched in here. At least King 3D, as well as now RQQE, with the help of his teammate, are approaching these buildings, and they're going to start to clear these out in a moment. They do have nades available, and he's going to throw that one in, but he's going to be instantly knocked down by Sikis as well. He will take down his teammate. So that's 2 players on the side of Aggressive BESL Pro down already, and Sikis just finishing them off. Smart plays finally coming out from him here. So despite the fact that he didn't manage to pick up his teammate in that situation where he had the opportunity to do so, he did manage to retaliate by getting 2 kills of his own here. And now King 3D looking to see if he can drop any of these players. There's literally a guy in the next room with him, and he spots one of these players, not really realizing that there's the other one, and he will be taken down by Italiano, instantly finished off. That is points for Aggressive BESL Pro gained, but still they're only on 2 people, so a 2 versus 2 battle now in Pochinki happening here, as we already previously mentioned. Unfortunately, by my own mistake, I thought there were not going to be any early battles going on here, but didn't seem like to be the case, as Obviously, both of these teams seeing advantages both in either of their positions.
Now in the Pochinki, they have 2 versus 2 situation, and they are holding 2 of the houses what they have over the street. And I think this is going to be the waiting game. Who's going to be the first one to show themselves? So who's going to be the one that can't sit in the house and start pushing up?
Well, one of these teams probably will give up at some point in time, as they are still in the circle.
Well,
meaning
you can always run away.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I think they will run away at this stage, because 2 versus 2, neither of these teams really want to go down early here. From Silver, Tallin looking to deal damage with this DP towards the bike that was passing them. They still have 3 people alive, only Griant down on their side. Still, all teams are alive, and there are still 70 players on the actual server. So it looks like everyone has found a small niche to take on the actual map, and so far hold on. Vitamis looking to deal some amount of damage towards that passing vehicle. And the next circle is in, and I do actually like this circle just because there's Gatka in the middle there, meaning that also the hills, the highest hills on the map, are going to play a huge role there, and most likely you will see teams establishing themselves.
This is really really good circle for the fights happening, because if you are in the middle of the field, there's always somewhere to find the cover on a little tractors or little haystacks and stuff like that. And I think if this would be the final battle zone, it would be pretty interesting to see what happens from the mountains and what happens in the fields.
So do you want to try and make a prediction where the final zone will be in?
Somewhere around Gatka, somewhere in these trench regions.
Okay, I'm going to say it's going to be more towards the upper left-hand corner where the haystacks are in the field. Just would like to see one of those happening. And Sikis actually has managed to find 3 times here from Aggressiva BESL Pro. So that means only Italiano is left alive, is now baby on the ground here, just waiting to be resurrected by the help of his teammates. So good job from Sikis. He's already taken 3 people out of Aggressiva BESL Pro lineup, and he's now looking to finish the lobby off.
But I think this is the time where they have to push out for, like, the Italiano has to push away from here. This is it. He's the last member alive. He can't risk the points. He has to go somewhere outside of the city and wait out the game.
And he's
this
doing
is what
exactly
happens,
like that. He's running towards the forest and running away from the city, and he will need to play the waiting game, as now General has managed to find Syncopis here, and that is a man from the side of Saber down. And General in Gatka here, you can see he's going to try and finish him off with the nade, making sure he's going to take his time and make sure that the nade lands in. And General will take him out. Voiden will be also taken down by General, so good job from him. You can see that Mighty Wolves have established themselves in Gatka here, and that's probably like the best position so far where you can be as a full squad for sure, just being in the middle of it. And now Senso, I believe he just spotted the player there just beneath him through that window. So
he made too much noise. Right now I think the team Mighty Wolves now where he is, and if they're going to push him smartly by 4, that's it for him.
He's actually going to knock out the window here, trying to fake out any sort of movement at what he can do, but he does have the AK in hand here, and a close range, knowing how much damage that weapon deals, it's basically a shredder that you're running into.
But he only has the first level west, so that means in this early fight, if he gets shot 2 or 3 times, that's it for him.
That is true here, so obviously he cannot play around too much of these windows around them, as well as now Quake W here from team number 12, that is Pew Pew, looking to deal some shots towards Garlic Cola players that have positioned themselves slightly further on. They actually have the bike inside the house available as well, so someone can just open the doors and they can instantly shoot out like a rocket. Senso, though, still looking to survive as long as he can, but you can see that the Mighty Wolves, exactly like a pack of wolves, are looking to get him down and out of the game.
The first team that we just saw eliminated is the Aggressiva BESL Pro. Italiano tried to find a place where no one going to find him, and it looks like he got found.
So unfortunate news for Aggressiva BESL Pro. I was putting up a lot of hopes for them this game.
This is a big damage in the point system for them.
Yeah, so they'll suffer from this for sure. And Cartelli is going to be passing Gatka here. Unfortunate news for him, because there's a full pack of wolves expecting this. And they're going to be looking to deal 3 damage. Senso now still somehow manages to deal a bit of backstabbing of himself, still stuck in the second floor. Obviously, Mighty Fools looks like they don't have any nades remaining here, as they're just positioning themselves all around this house and making sure they're not being flanked in the process as well. So
a flashbang, that's it.
Oh my god, so Senso did manage to get one knock in that situation and did manage to also deal a good amount of damage on the second. Unfortunately for him, that is all she wrote for that.
A really smart play by the Wolves. They used the flashbang whenever they needed, and they pushed in and killed him straight away.
So this second circle is actually going to be heading towards more towards the bottom side.
The
third circle, excuse me. Yeah, so towards the bottom side of it, you can see no organization lobby. Also, I like their positioning. That is at the these buildings towards the bottom of the hill here. And praise the Lord, players have been engaging in a fight with Ascenda and have managed to knock down Dosty. I believe it was them who knocked one of the players out. It looks like Dosty will be left behind here, as do alongside of Tomch will be moving away, and this phase will start in 8 seconds here, meaning that he's not really going to survive for long here. Do just on the go here, running for their lives, still 1 minute and 50 on the clock here for these players, and they've actually spotted a vehicle along the way as well. I always get confused with this vehicle. Like I always think it's drivable. My apologies. Even in the actual games when we play, it's the same scenario. I always get confused by that one truck. Anywho, they still have a long road ahead of them to move around. Same goes for Praise the Lord players. And lobby number 12, Pew Pew, have also a man down here taking some damage from Garlic Cola players. And you can see that the Mini, in general, seems to be a very popular pick amongst these teams, just because of how lesser knockback it has than the SKS.
And it's easy to find it. It's
yeah,
really
it's
common
pretty
weapon. You can easily find the bullets for it, and you end up with 200 bullets, and that's basically everything what you need for one game.
No, especially if you have an 8x on top of it, you can definitely find these enemy players quickly enough. And you can see that Pew Pew players, are they just trying to hide the bike, or... Yeah, it looks like they're just trying to hide the bike here. Mad Kid still actually has managed to pick up one of the loot boxes that are being continuously dropped on the map here, but Silo as well as Has10 has gone huge, and that is going to be Cable Knights out of the game here. Unfortunate news for them, as they were found in these tunnels and essentially just instantly eliminated altogether. So Cable Knights are out of the game, and previously the success of Coralius doesn't look like it's going to happen again in this third game of today here, as now Sikis has managed to also knock down Girix on the side of Division here, and Baby looking to knock down another one, as the players from Praise the Lord have found more guys from Team Kun. A lot of action happening here with this move, as phase 4 is already on the map here. Only 50 seconds until the circle moves. Suffolk barely survives and is just heading straight for the buildings here just to... Hello?
Yeah.
There are brakes on the bike, you know, right? And look at how many players are being knocked down by the zone here. So many people falling around, as desperately crawling for his life is Bullbeats. Doesn't even look like he's going to try and make it till the very end. Content has managed to find the MK14, and still Gatka is in the circle, so surely having the fact that Gatka is a place where Mighty Wolves have been for the past 3 phases now, and they've held on to that position, and also being on the edge of that new circle means that they will be shooting all these players that are coming in.
So in this really fast pace of fights we just had, the Praise the Lord got finished out in the 16th place, and the Figure 5 just got out as well. They were still in the zone, trying to move back to the new one, to the new circle, and they got out as well. We have only 14 teams left in 20 minutes of this game, and 46 players alive. It's a really fast-paced game what we are having right now here. in this tournament.
Yeah, so no organization did manage to slip by Mighty Wolves players here, despite the fact that a lot of bullets were heading their way. But as I say it, Q-ish does manage to find one of the no organization players in the process, as well as they ran into a group called From Silver to LAN, and that means that they have a lot of players going down on them. Finding a kill onto New River here, does manage to equalize the scoreline in his favor. Still needs to pick up his teammate as he's going to be flushed out of this bathroom. Actually finds another kill. Can he get the reload in? He will go down to LQFTW, and that is going to be From Silver to LAN, knocking no organization out of the game.
It was a tricky fight to have. He had to decide of picking his teammate up or having a fight, and it was like in that awkward situation. You were in the middle of everything. You were thinking, oh, maybe to push, maybe not, and really well shot by Armands and Content together. They found the head. They signalized to both of them. Let's shoot. Let's try to get someone. And instantly, 2 members of the team Pew got thrown to the knees.
So far it looks like from their positioning that is Mighty Wolves that they are in a good position to try and win this one, as now lobby number 12 here, PI 5K and X actually laying on the ground. I think he fooled Madkey there for a second, and that is going to be lobby number 12 out of the game, which is Pew Pew. So with the help of Mighty Wolves slightly there, Garlicola, PI 5K and X still alive.
As we saw in the house, the Mighty Wolf picked out a few of the members there in the house, and that was the last member left alive, and he tried to go and save his teammates, and in that moment, what is that name? P5KNX was dropping down in the grass and tried and helped the team to proceed.
In the process, Litus players have managed to eliminate Discount Gaming out of the game, if I'm not mistaken. Also, PI 5K and X does have the option of picking up that ghillie suit, which is going to come in handy in this terrain for sure. There's a lot of fields, a lot of open areas, a lot of bushes here. You can see also that is lobby number 9. Lietuvos Ateitis, of players that we saw perform really well last week, have managed to found kills of their own, and they're just picking up the final loot, as phase 5 now is already on the map. Still another 50 seconds before it moves on. You can see instantly Mighty Wolves players are heading towards this remaining Garlic Cola. The only guy that's remaining from Garlic Cola. He hears guys all around him, finds the first player, misses those shots, and that's bad news for him. He's not going to be sandwiched in now from all sides. Team number 13 in the process was eliminated by Litus players one more time, as now Content finishes off Garlic Cola. So both of these teams are out of the board here now. From Silver to LAN, only 2 people remaining, but they have managed to secure themselves a decent position in this circle, and still team number 24 gentlemen will need to somehow pass division players, and I believe
2 gentlemen.
2 gentlemen.
There are only 2.
But they have 4 kills.
Yes. 2 gentlemen with the 4 kills, let's say.
2 gentlemen with 4 kills, and that is all thanks to Sikis, if I'm not mistaken. He definitely got 3 out of those 4. Now team division is going to be moving, and it looks like 4 gentlemen in the lineup of only 2 are looking to backstab division, and this can all go south for division if they do not check their backs, and of course if 4 gentlemen find the right timing when to approach this. You can see they are literally moving only when the zone reaches them, so they are taking their time, obviously looking to find as much cover as they can in the process and seeing if they can get behind. But Suffolk actually now with this movement towards the edge, I believe he's going to spot them in a second here as he sees the players on top of the hill passing the information to his teammates, and that is also the new weapon in longer range here. Spraying the player down, does manage to evade the bullets, as now looking to get the second kill onto Sikis here, sitting on half HP. Does he have any nades available? Sikis is dropped down onto the ground, will be spotted, and that is going to be team number 24 gentlemen out of the game based solely on the play of Suffolk there.
But from the other side of the mountain, there's the Canella from the team Lietuvos Ateitis pushing in the division and getting dropped down one by one, and they got few of the division players. The Alchemist right now is on the knees, but before that they got someone other as well. I think who was that? The Flabber as well. And right now only Suffolk is alive because he had a fight with the other team, picking them both out from the game. And right now he's in a pretty tricky situation where he has to be surviving alone in the new zone.
And there's also no cover in this situation.
No,
like, I mean, your only cover is trees. So your only choice is either somehow try and see if you can slip by team number 9. That is one more time Lietuvos Ateitis here, who are taking a good amount of damage and looking to head to the same tree line, as now Suffolk has just positioned himself in between these two. And Team Litus so far already sitting on 6 kills here, approaching this drop zone as the phase number 5 is closing off.
And what could we see was the really far made kills, not kills, the shots from the team Litus. From all this distance, they made few headshots on the team Lietuvos Ateitis, and they made them a little bit shaky now.
Yeah, I believe they were just spotted by Mighty Wolves, as K4ZZ did take a few body shots, but that's about it. The next zone is literally in the open here, as a battle between What Do You Mean and Kartoshka players is ongoing here. Kartoshka players actually still are 4 alive.
They can do this.
So
I can feel it. They can do this.
Same thing goes for What Do You Mean, and Cloudtail will knock down Q-ish here on the side of Mighty Wolves. That's one of the sniper players definitely gone down on the side of Wolves, and he's just looking to see if he can actually knock him down. He does still should have seen at least a second ago the weapon barrel, and he's just looking to gain some ground here to finish him off, but doesn't manage to find any
I think he's more
players.
looking for the teammates that try to pick him up. But right now, as he gets the intel that no one picked him up, that's it. He knows that no
And you
one's
can
there.
see NBSLOL as well as K4ZZ have already established their positioning in this new zone. K4ZZ looking to finish off a player, but instantly gets knocked down to low HP, is forced to lay down. No helmet, 3rd level armor is probably also not in the best condition there in that situation, as number 9, Lietuvos Ateitis, so far, despite their position, have managed to put up an extremely good fight. This game is now Suffolk will be oh my god, Suffolk is taking a lot of damage from all sides, and NBSLOL actually is the guy who finds him, and that is going to be Division out of the game here, and that was a team that was sitting in 2nd place, so that's one more time valuable points lost, unfortunately, as K4ZZ has found one of the players from the lobby number 9, that is Lietuvos Ateitis, and also NBSLOL in the process finding one of Kartoshka players. So that's only 5 teams remaining here. Lietuvos Ateitis have a man down, and Kartoshka players have lost one in the process here, taking a lot of fire, and somehow Litus, in being in the middle of nowhere, essentially are causing so much havoc for these teams, as K4ZZ does drop Ruxis out of the game, and lobby number 22, What Do You Mean, are moving towards them.
What happened for the team Kartoshka, they had a really good position in the houses, but the zone were pushing them out, and right now they weren't thinking about what's going to happen in the next seconds, and right now they found themselves in the middle of the fields, in the middle of somewhere in the tree houses. There was nothing to cover.
Well, speaking of nothing, Content together with General have managed to find Cloudtail in the process here, despite the fact that they lost one of their own and obviously are looking to position themselves closer to the remaining of Litus players, and it's extremely important for them to get these players out of the game. I believe they do know that it is them. Also, team number 19, Kartoshka, is out of the game, so only 4 teams are remaining here. Accordingly, Mighty Wolves, Litus, Lietuvos Ateitis, and What Do You Mean, with still another 3-man lineup, same as Mighty Wolves here. So still, What Do You Mean could gain valuable points here, as now Vac LT is on low HP, hiding away, looking to see if we can heal up. 40 seconds on the clock here, and What Do You Mean players should essentially, well, in theory, find Lietuvos Ateitis players if they continue moving in the same direction, as Ignace has been taken out of the game already.
It looks like they hasn't going to find the last 2 members of the Lietuvos Ateitis just somewhere in the grounds. They have no helmets left.
And K4ZZ just dropped. Excuse me that I interrupted you, but that is Hasten moving forward here. And does he spot any of these players, as he's taking nade damage? And there is literally a guy right next to them, as now Armand, with the help of General, have found NBSLOL, and that is going to be Litus out of the game. Only 3 teams remaining here. Mighty Wolves are the only team that are within the circle here. They realize realize that as well. So they are pushing towards the other edge of the circle here and looking to see if they can spot these players, as now essentially it's just snakes in the grass game, looks like, for the other teams. As Sponsorius has been found from Lietuvos Ateitis, he will be taken out of the game. That all leaves only VAC LT alive, and this team is sitting on 8 kills, so it's extremely important for VAC to place second in this situation.
Looks like he's going to do that. He's just going to sit down in a field and wait out while the Mighty Wolves take out all the other enemies from the What Do You Mean team.
Yeah, so there's still only 2 people remaining there, but unfortunately for VAC LT, like, there's not even a bush that he can hide next to. He's just literally laying down in this hay, so he should be relatively easily spotted in the nearest moments. Content also laying down on the ground here. Is anyone even standing up? Armans is sort of, and General also playing snakes in the grass. So it's going to be snakes in the grass throughout this phase number 7, as Armand has managed to spot one of the players, reluctant to take the shots, just making sure that he will be actually landing them before he does so, and he will drop down AB Williams.
A really well placed shot down there, in straight in the head. And that's it. That's teammate out, and he bleeds out really fast. And as well, Content found...
So VAC has managed to survive to the second position here. It looks like Mighty Wolves will be running away with the victory unless VAC somehow comes up with
Buddy, the enemies are different... Where you were? What is he? Yeah, there's the enemies. Yeah, on that side.
He was just perhaps making sure that is the case. He spots one of the players and looking to knock the second one, but that is going to be it. Content takes him out of the game. That is going to be Mighty Wolves picking up game number 3 here. So same as last week, they also managed to win one game the week before, meaning that they have gained valuable points. And you can see they are sitting on 16 kills on top of this victory, so that is going to be a lot of
really
points.
Crucial for them. As before the game, what we spoke, I said they have to get their team together. They have to get some wins or some higher positions or some kills, and that's what they did.
Yeah, second place is taken by Lietuvos Ateitis. So with the help of VAC LT, who very professionally, I might add, did manage to survive that chaos and wait out for the third place to die off, and that was the team What Do You Mean? A pleasant sight to see, because previously they didn't really find that much success in the later game, towards the later side of the game.
And really good props to the What Do You Mean team. This is I think their best game what they've ever had in this tournament. They have 12 kills. Third place, that's really good, and I think they're going to be moving up to the bracket.
Okay, and that also should really serve as a good confidence reminder one more time about how you are feeling and how you are standing in this game.
In
Number
place,
4,
Littest. And the only I would say
only
9 kills.
Only 9 kills, yeah. Oh no, only 9 kills. Yeah. So still, that's a good amount of points heading their way. I believe something like 135, if I'm not mistaken. So still not as bad, plus the placement of the actual...
And in the 5th place, one of my favorites, as you know, the Kartoshka.
Yes, yeah. So I believe this is also the highest they have gotten so far. Unfortunately, didn't manage to get that many kills, but still a solid attempt from them. So, dearest production guy, do we have already our Vault winner in the chat or no?
This was a really action-packed game, and
it was a really action-packed game. I'm
no
getting hungry, so I'm just thinking if that's the case or no. So not just yet, meaning that you still have, I would say, another minute or two to type in #Vault in the chat. Make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, that you are eligible for this free giveaway. Free 10 euros worth of food in the app on your phone, so you can just pick whatever you want. It will be delivered to you. The app actually shows you when the food has been accepted, made, passed on to the driver, and you can also see on a live map where the driver is when he's on his way. Yeah. Very action-packed games this week so far, and obviously we will have one more that is going to be played on Miramar one more time.
I hope that all the players are still feeling the heat, and in the next game we're going to see it even more action-packed. And the second game of today, which was also played on Miramar, was won by Team Division. That is with the lineup of Alchemist, Girix, Flabber, and Suffolk. And they performed relatively well also on this map, but it looks like longer range battles are more sort of their thing. So I'm looking to see if they will return the favor, as Mighty Wolves so far have snuck away with also another victory this week, same as before. So good job in terms of points and overall for all the teams, and we'll see you shortly
once we come back after our small break here before the final game of week 2, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Hashtag vote in the chat. We'll be back. See you then.
Lešik, butik, jau viss ir redzēts. Thriller, killer, tas viss ir redzēts. Skandāls, secret, viss ir redzēts. Creepy, crazy, jā, viss ir redzēts.
Pārsteidz mani. Pārsteidz mani. Pārsteidz mani. Un tagad pārsteidz mani.
Lūdzu, jaunā Helio interaktīvā televīzija nomaina Lattelecom ITV. Televizors, tālrunis un planšete darbojas kā viens vesels. Tagad pārvaldi un aizraujies pilnīgi jaunā līmenī. Izklaide progresē. Helio.
The sound of big booming 4v4 friend fragging action? We'll fix you up. Go big, go boom with guns of boom.
Oh girl, just say something. Oh baby, won't you say something? No running, you got me thinking about the state I'm in. Going back to that place we met. Yeah, I've been feeling lost somewhere deep within. No, I can't turn back, I need that grin, that loving. You say you want it, baby, take this in. You're feeling spent, but I know you want it, I know you want it. Oh girl, you know what I've been through. I don't know if I can do this on my own, no. Oh baby, tell me what to do. I don't know if I can do this on my own, no. I've been drinking, think I'm faded way too much, don't think I'll make this on my own, no. Well fuck it, I'm just saying I don't know if I can go through this alone, on my own. Oh no, no, no. Stop running, oh girl, you know I see that pain you're in. Let me calm your nerves, take it in, just take it in. I'll grant you everything you wish. I'll give you all the things you list. Just reminisce, taking back the times we miss. Got you saying that you needed this, you needed this. Oh girl, you know what I've been through. I don't know if I fire in my head got me on edge. I'm going out tonight. Faded on a thread, don't know what's next. I wanna feel alive. I kissed a stranger in a white dress. She put a crown on top of my head. Said every king needs a queen in his bed. I said, hey girl, I'd like to stay here for a while, just you and I. Far from the places we can't get away from. She said, hey boy, I like your style. I'll let you play me for a while. Play me till the sun rises. Play me like a violin. Here with you now, not coming down. Leave my insanity up here in the clouds. Look what we found, oxygen we can breathe. Let the madness slowly undress. Rip the mask off over our heads. We can dive down deeper instead. I said, hey girl, I'd like to stay here for a while, just you and I. Far from the places we can't get away from. She said, hey boy, I like your style. I'll let you play me for a while. Play me till the sun rises. Play me like a violin. Play me till the sun rises. Play me till your hands give in. Play me like a violin. Play me till the sun rises. Play me till you can't hide it. Play me like a violin. Play me till the sun rises. Play me till your hands give in. Play me like a violin. Play me till the sun rises. Play me till you can't hide it. Play me like a violin.
Hello and welcome back. So we are going to be heading shortly in our fourth game here that is going to be played on Miramar. One more time, a versatile map in terms of verticality of it. Obviously, one more time, very important to have scopes on this map. But before that, you have your final seconds to one more time hashtag vote in the chat here to be eligible accordingly for that
free
free
food.
food
Come
delivery. Okay, so we're gonna give you like let's
10.
say 9,
8.
7,
No, this is cringy. Get it?
6, 5.
That's it.
4, 3, 2,
0.
1, 0. That is it. You should see the winner in chat. I will remind you one more time that if you have won the giveaway, please message us on bsl@bsl.pro. That is an email address that you need to drop to an email in order for us to give you your free food.
So, the last game.
Last game of today, week number 2. We can check out the standings now to see where these teams stand after this last intense battle where Mighty Wolves did come out on top, holding on to that Gatka positioning, and then afterwards making sure that every team has passed them, and obviously seeing an upfront view of everything that's happening.
There will be salty people that are going to say, oh, but they had the zone for them and everything. No, they moved really fast.
That's how PUBG works,
As
man.
we
It's
saw,
just PUBG.
whenever they saw the new zone, they dropped into the cars as soon as they could and moved to the next position and hold the grounds as well that they could.
Still, in the first position, we do have Team Litest here with 3,045 points off the back that they managed to hold on to that 4th position in this last game and managed to rack up a good amount of kills. And you can see also points-wise, 1,095 points out of all they have is purely off of kills. So this is still obviously a very dangerous team to face in any sort of gunfight. In second position, we still have Division with 2,710 points.
Really close. There's
really close.
Really
and
close.
Instantly after them is Mighty Wolves with 2,615 points. So second and third place is only divided by 100 points here. And you can see also that Mighty Wolves actually have a slightly higher kill point count than actually Mighty Wolves do. And off the back of that, Division did win the second game of today, which was also on Miramar. So I'm curious to see if they will be able to repeat that.
It's a really close battle between these two good Latvian teams.
Yeah. 4th place, we do have Lietuvos Ateitis, with the help of VAC LT, who secured the 2nd position there, and also them racking up a good amount of kills in this last game that we just previously saw.
And as we can see from the point-wise, they are only 5 points above the Garlikol right now in the 5th place.
Yeah, so Garlikol obviously are going to be looking to get every single kill they can here, just to make sure that they jump on top of Lietuvos Ateitis.
And as we know, Miramar for the Garlikol is a little bit better map that they perform.
So far it looks like, so far it looks like so. And obviously them being able to hold on to these buildings for extremely long periods of time, as well as knocking down any players that are heading their way. In the in the 6th position, we do have Aggressiva Betsu Protu, a team that has improved from the previous week tactically wise. And I feel like that trend is probably going to be ongoing. And
they're showing more aggressive way to perform in these kind of maps.
And off of that 3rd place, that What Do You Mean players just scored.
Really surprising.
They are in the 7th place. So really they have reached also this top 8 team level, and props to them. I mean, that is really something that was required. And further down, we do see in the 8th place currently from Silver to Lan, as well as closely followed by Praise the Lord, that really... Well, they won a game last week, and they haven't really shown up much today. I mean, they've been dying off during mid-game, so somewhere around phase 4, phase 5.
Something is happening not in the way that they were trying to get.
Well, those are the phases where you really need to start to think about the end game and how you're going to approach it, and also about your positioning. So it doesn't look like they might have really a clear idea as to which direction they should go. Perhaps food for thought for them in terms of how they should
Let's hope so.
Let's
hope. I want to see more action from their side.
Yeah, so we'll be jumping on the game in a brief moment here. I believe most of the players have joined, and we're still waiting for just a few. The full standings you can check out on our website, which is bsl.pro /PUBG to see the full standings and some statistics about it as well.
So talking about the previous map we just had about the game, remember we were talking about predictions where there's going to be the end zone for the last battle. It was in the middle where both of us said. It was just in the fields as we predicted.
Okay, so we sort of guessed right, but both kind of were wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, so we had a good idea about how things are going to go down, at least a good prediction, but unfortunately it didn't come true completely.
So talking about the new weapon what we have in the game, as we saw, a few teams already are picking it up. Hopefully not by the chance that it's the only weapon, but I hope that they are actually trying to hold it in the hands and try out even in the tournament. As we saw, there were a few kills made by it, but
Yes.
I wasn't really satisfied by them, because it's, as you can see, the recoil is really hard to hold for it in the long traces.
Yeah, so I'm looking to see. I've actually already have decided that I will try out tonight PUBG by self one more time, as I haven't turned it on for a while here, and I just really want to see
Are you gonna play with
the
me?
weapon. You don't have a computer, don't you?
I can stay here and play.
You can stay and play from here. Okay, so we'll figure something out, but surely I'll give it a go as well, and I would like to feel that new weapon myself and how it feels. So we are going to be jumping into this match shortly here, but before that, a small commercial break, and when we come back, the airplane should be already on the way.
Like the sound of big booming 4v4 friend fragging action? We'll fix you up. Go big, go boom with Guns of Boom.
Lešik, butik, jau viss ir redzēts. Thriller, killer, tas viss ir redzēts. Skandāls, secret, viss ir redzēts. Creepy, crazy, jā, viss ir redzēts.
Pārsteidz mani. Pārsteidz mani. Pārsteidz mani. Un tagad pārsteidz mani.
Lūdzu, jaunā Helio interaktīvā televīzija nomaina Lattelecom ITV. Televizors, tālrunis un planšete darbojas kā viens vesels. Tagad pārvaldi un aizraujies pilnīgi jaunā līmenī. Izklaide progresē. Helio.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. As you can see, we have lovely weather here in Miramar today, and we'll be heading on our way towards Picado here. So make sure your seatbelts are unfastened and be ready to jump out and kill some people.
Oh, exactly. That's what we are having right now. The game start, as we can see, few teams are going down to the Campo military side, somewhere in the Tierra Bronca or Alhazar. Some other teams are getting in the middle area, somewhere around the junkyard and graveyard and La Bendita and some sort other areas around there as well. The Hacienda and San Martin, I think, going to be occupied from few of the teams. And as well, we're going to have a good clash in the Pecado from 2 or 3 teams. It looks like it's going to be two and a half teams down there.
Yeah, so those are names already seen before. That is going to be 4 gentlemen heading that direction, so looking to establish early positioning beforehand. Aggressiva and Betsuproto, if I'm not mistaken, are heading towards Los Leones here, and you can see Garlicola have chosen to approach Valle de la Mar position. And also, interestingly enough, El Al-Zahar here has been taken by Mighty Wolves alongside with Pandora, so Pandora players will need to be extremely careful, as both Mighty Wolves have positioned themselves in such a way that essentially Pandora are sandwiched in already by default. So as long as Mighty Wolves play out this one correctly, they should come out on top in this fight. At least that's my opinion. You can see our Rekas already has decided to run across the street and take a hold of these buildings that are not taken just yet. So the looting phase has begun, and also phase 1 circle can be seen. It's going to be very centric towards the upper side of the half here. You do have San Martin water treatment Pecado included in that. obviously, so these Picado players will need to find each other carefully. What do you mean, players? One more time, previously did stand down. Finally, with improved standings here, and it looks like the trend might continue as you have only 2 players from PUBG here in Picado amongst 2 full squads. So they will need to figure out a way how to approach this situation. I'm sure they are informed where these players are. And you can see Mighty Wolves have already positioned themselves more towards the outer edge of the town. I'm curious to know if that is done on purpose, in the sense then to see how the players will move out of the city, and obviously having the opportunity to catch them off guard there. But it looks like that Mighty Wolves are taking a relatively safe approach here, but that cannot be said about Karalius, who's from Cable Knights, has been taken down by Kartali. So first blood already on the server here, as team number 17, that is Discount Gaming, have secured 15
This is
points.
one of the fastest kills we have had.
Yeah, definitely.
Before the 3rd minute. Really well played.
Okay, well, fun fact here for you, and obviously Kartali, props to you of getting these players down. There's actually 2 Cable Knights players still in Minas Generalis there, and already a gunfight happening between that is PUBG players and What Do You Mean here. So exchange of fire.
What can we see is that the team 4 Gentlemen is moving out from the Picado. They understood that we don't want any of this business. We're just going to move out and maybe come back after you fight.
Yeah, so they'll probably be looking to pick up the scraps after this fight that's happening. Also, unfortunately for PUBG, they are only on a 2-man lineup here in this final match. And also, I believe there is a substitute player playing on the side of Garlic Cola here in this game. So we'll see if that is going to be any sort of factor for them.
I think it's not the substitute player. The substitute player is out, and now we are having the player.
Well, Haston has managed to find the M24 here and has already dropped Mad Kid from PUBG. So only one PUBG member alive. That is going to be Quake W, making his way hastily towards his teammate just to get him up as fast as possible. And Haston obviously is going to be extremely happy that he has that M24 in hand. That's essentially almost like a laser. Within 500 meters, you can just place your crosshair and press the button.
If they would know that there's only 2 members of that team, this is the moment to push, because he has to pick up the teammate, but they have no intel about that. So,
well, they just perhaps don't want to risk it too much here, as now Haston is returning back to this arena, and they'll just be holding on to their positions. Obviously, now 4 Gentlemen, excuse me, as you already previously mentioned, have moved out, and looks like they're just playing the role of observer in that appropriate region. You can also see that the drop is on the very edge of the top right hand side here, and we can just quickly sneak peek and see what sort of goodies are up for grabs here, as we are looking to locate the crate. There it is, a very nice parachute. I feel like they should have made the parachute slightly more fun to observe. Ooh. Oh, that's a set of nice things if I've seen one. The AWM alongside with the third level armor, 3rd level helmet, and of course the ghillie suit on top of things, and an extended mag.
In a good hands, that's a crucial thing to have.
Yeah, and I feel like, isn't this drop, like this exact set of things in the drop, one of the rarest ones that you can have? This is like a full set.
The most rarest one.
Yeah,
yes.
the max level stuff. So it doesn't look like anyone was in the range of the actual drop, so I believe it might go by unnoticed here, unfortunately, because oh my god, if only these teams knew. Imagine one of the latest players or someone from Mighty Wolves getting a hold of that set.
That's it. That's all they would need for this game.
It's just knocked for days. You get knocked, and you get knocked, and everybody gets knocked. Unfortunately, we won't see that just yet, but who knows, maybe someone will stumble upon that gold mine there. So still 20 teams alive, 76 players on the server. As far as I recall, only 1 man has died so far, and looks like PUBG players have somehow managed to escape towards that hotel area within Peccato, as now Aggressiva BESL Pro player Italiano is on the move here with that Jeep, displaying amazing driving skills on this flat road.
He's getting too close for the Picado. I'm surprised that no one have shot him yet.
Well, they obviously want to make sure that he's going to be close enough here, but I believe
Yeah,
he might have.
There's the shots coming.
Yeah, the shots are coming through, and he's like, nope, I'm not going to approach that place with the Jeep. I actually don't understand why that was even something that he was considering. He actually has been tagged a bit there by one of the bullets, so Haston now looking to see. Oh, he flipped.
Flip him and. What?
Oh my god, I believe they've shot one of the tires. I'm not entirely sure about that fact, but yes, indeed, somehow he has managed to escape unscathed in that situation, as YZI Goda has already been knocked once, will be healing up here.
His teammate threw him over, by the way.
Threw him over?
Yes.
Oh, okay, well that's just this vehicle in general. I really hate this.
It looks like Italiano got away safe and square. He's missing one of the tires, so yeah, that's what happened, as you said.
That's probably why he flipped, because he was just about to cross that road as well. Probably the one of the tires was shot, and he was in that situation.
After the first kill in the first 3 minutes, this is the biggest action we had in these 5 minutes what we had in the game, and well, the biggest action was the shot tire.
And you can see Litis players have actually split up into pairs. You have two people in San Martin, and then NBS LOL has positioned himself slightly further off. So they have like a straight line between them, meaning that they can pass on information quickly about what's happening. As now Content has managed to find Voiden here. Flabber will also take down Syncopis. So lobby number 18 Saber players are suffering great losses on their side, as now Flabber looking to add insult to injury, looking for these final players. Syncopis obviously will not be picked up here in this situation, meaning that Saber will have only one man standing very early on in the game, still within phase 1.
Yeah, they got one player off in the first minutes, and now the other player got shot off, I think in a car or something like that. It looks from the scenery that he got shot off out of the car. That means only Senso is left in this game from this team, because well, I think Syncopus is left for good.
Yeah, Syncopus is out of the game. No way Senso will pick him up. As you can see, he just been finished off by Flabber there. So Division picking up early points for themselves as well, and that is always a pleasant sight to see. Flabber just making sure that those vehicles are not going to be usable anymore, meaning that the last and final man from Saber will be forced to move around. As now Armand's looking to deal a lot of damage toward this vehicle, but unfortunately the Times does manage to escape here, and he's driving crazily over these hills.
In this game, really start early, really early in this game. Aggressiva, but Subrot getting shot in the cars, and we have a lot of action happening. I think in Pecado. Let me just try to.
Yeah, that is Pecado bloodbath there. So you can see four gentlemen have come back for the goods, and flanking from both sides, Sikis does manage to get rid of Reed, as well as AB Williams has gone down here.
Really good position for him.
And one more time, that is with the M24, so that is a rifle, a sniper rifle, excuse me, that deals a lot of damage here. And he has also the silencer on it, so obviously the fact that he got 2 kills there most likely was because these players didn't know where the shots are coming from. Somehow, just because there's a smoke, they have managed to regroup somewhat, but Haston has gone down, as well as Danks from Garlic Cola has managed to find Zigzas from Figure of 5 here. And you can see Seek is just looking to finish off Haston for those extra tasty points. But Dariul in return has managed to find a kill towards RYYT. So really backwards and forwards fight. Silo just decided, nah, like I'm fine, I'll leave the place. As Quake W looking here, he just spotted a knocked player here and will be able to steal away a kill towards him. So team number 12, that is one more time Pew Pew in the full lineup of only 2 people, have managed to find a kill for themselves as well here, and Sik is just posted up with the sniper rifle.
As you can see right now in the map, we have the team 4 gentlemen standing in 2 sides of Bacada and just shooting chickens in the barrel, as you can see.
Yeah, but there are so many buildings to hide away here, so...
and we have green.
And we have green.
Somewhere in the middle of all that.
Is that? Yeah, that's within the hotel. I was
Yeah,
confused there for a second.
He's having a good vacation there.
So, well, Grian's teammates have just gone down by the hands of Agresiva BESL Pro. Understandably why he's hiding now, as phase number 2 has begun already here, and that is going to be a minute 50 on the clock for these players to move to the next following circle. And Quake W, also with the Car 98, with that red dot, looking to get an extremely long distance kill here. Unfortunately, will not be able to find it. Still, all teams are alive, but there are 65 people only on the server, so a good amount of people have already gone off. And baby, with that VSS just looking to land any sort of free shots
in this kind of distance, that's a gun that you just pray and shoot.
Yeah, it's just complete trash.
I would be surprised if he actually shot someone down with it from this kind of distance. From closer distance, it's alright.
If I recall correctly, you like the VSS in long range.
That's one of my favorites, yeah.
Because
no one knows where you are. You shoot from whatever range you want, and no one knows where exactly you are placed.
So King has managed to knock down Mad Kid here, and obviously only one person more remaining on the side of Pew Pew, looking to see if he can save his teammate as more bullets are flying his direction. So Quake W,
like he can make it. He can actually make it. Look, that's the last tick, whatever. Before he died.
Oh yeah, that's
he
literally the final tick there. So somehow still Mad Kid and Quake W still alive in Pecado here, despite the fact that what do you mean players suffered some devastating consequences overstaying their welcome. But now Ascenda finally showing up on the board here, trying to eliminate Cable Knights out of the game here, and are succeeding relatively well. Only Shyness remaining here in a 1 versus 4, I believe, situation. Will drop the smoke grenade, is dropped to low HP, looking to blow up this vehicle, but Tomch will find the kill onto him, and that is going to be the first team out of this match in this second week final game, and that is going to be Cable Knights. Unfortunately for you guys, games are over this week, as now Armand's trying to deal more damage on the side of Agresiva BESL Pro. And Sikis one more time with the M24 will find Mad Kid and will instantly finish him off, not giving any opportunities for him to be picked up, meaning that Quake W is the only man standing for Pew Pew here.
The Pew Pew has a really unfortunate game started.
And look at the crazy amount of kills coming in here from the side of Praise the Lord towards no organization players. That is such good news for them, as we already previously talked. They did win one of the games last week here, and they have managed to find themselves a juicy amount of kills. I believe that's 3 that they got there.
That was a good nade. It looks like it was a good nade, or they shut down a car where they were located in.
Yeah, so definitely, one of them was an 8 kill, one of them was a rifle kill, if I'm not mistaken here. Still on the side of Division, they, I believe, also, yes, Content has managed to pick up one of kills for himself, and they are dangerously close to Mighty Wolves.
Yeah, while the other fights were happening, as we could see in the kill feed, Armand's got 2 times. Armand's knocked 2 times some of the members from the team Division. He got down Alchemist, and he got down another player from there. I don't know for sure which one was that, and so they picked them up again and running. But that means he's shown the aggressivity that they could do.
And as we were previously corrected here, Kaz on the side of Litis, so that is K-A-Z-Z. Kaz has managed to take down a player from Ascend, and I believe one of his teammates from Litis also took down another player in the process here. And oh my god, Agresiva BESL Pro have managed to find one of the Mighty Wolves in that situation. They're now Tomch in a definitely situation he doesn't want to be in, facing Litis players here who are starting to gradually position themselves in a way where Ascend players will not make it out of here alive. You can see Kaz just pre-firing every angle he can, as Kavorka has also now...
The legend, he's back. In the last game, we actually can see him shoot.
And he's going to actually spot a player here, will not be able to take him down just yet, as he's trying to quickly rotate around. Didn't spot the player of Nerva there, the head of Nerva, and Tom's just hiding away in the bathroom, looking for any sort of sound cues he might potentially get here, but he's in a world of trouble, looking to find if anyone will be crossing this window, but little does he know that there is a knock, an enemy behind the door. Will Kavorka decide to open this room just yet? As you can see,
here comes Kavorka. That's it for him. Tom gets one down, and he gets down as well.
Okay, so Tamchu will be finished off, and that means that only Nerva will remain here on the side of Ascenda, and Litist so far have had relatively clean success in swiping out this team, as no organization has been wiped out just now by division players. That is them out of the game, and I also believe, if I'm not mistaken, Pew Pew are also out of the game.
Yeah, Degrean got them in the back. The last member that was left from the team, Pew Pew, Degrean sneaked by, took him out.
So phase 3 is going to start off here in about 10 seconds. You can see this next following circle. A lot of teams still have to make their way to it. Lobby numbers per 13, that is going to be Pandora players, are currently in a firefight with Mighty Wolves, who once again have managed to successfully position themselves towards the middle of the circle here, and are currently also fighting off Aggressiva and BESL Pro towards the upper hand side. You can see Kun players as well as Division. There's about 300 meters that separate them, and you can see Litis players just lighting up everyone they can. Silo dies by jumping out of the vehicle. Unfortunately for them, that is going to be What Do You Mean players out of the game, and I believe Ascenda are also out of the game already here.
Yes.
And Litest currently sitting on 4 kills already.
Yeah, as we saw before, one of the members of the from the Ascenda was left in the home alone, and with the Litest team all around him, and that was just, he was made for the doom.
Okay, well, Cloudtail has spotted out actually a few players here and is taking his time towards that shot. Doesn't manage to get the knock through, but in the process, in the meantime, Armand has managed to find one of the Aggressiva players and looking to see if he can find more. He actually has a silencer on that car as well, so times will be picked up in that process, but surely you can see that the Mighty Wolves as well as Division looks like have established a solid position on the map that they will be holding on to, as now Kaworka will find one of the Praise the Lord players here. So Litist continuously wrecking havoc on the map here, and they're looking to gain more kills. Obviously they want to establish their lead further on here as much as possible, as now Cloudtail has managed to find Ruxus and will finish him off soon enough here, as he's desperately bleeding out. Griand will go down to Baby from the Four Gentlemen's Club there, and well, it's just kills around the board here, as now Kaz also finding one of the Lietuvos Ateitis players. That is going to be back LT. Cloudtail preventing from the pickup of his teammate on the side of Kartoshka, as now Armand has also found another player from Aggressiva BESL Pro. So they're suffering great losses on their side right now. And from Lietuvos Ateitis, we only have one man standing, as there are still solid lobbies around the board here. Division also managed to find one more kill with that grenade just a second ago. So 13 teams, 44 people, and still only phase 4. A lot of action happening early on in this game here, and we can only guess that it is going to get crazier as we pass on to the next phase.
In the last fight what we have, the 14 team what is out in this game is Lietuvos Ateitis. We are slowly getting to the 20th minute of this game. We have only 13 teams left and 44 players alive. And I'm so ready for the action right now. As you can see, the circle is just down in the crossroads, and there's a little bit of houses, little bit of places where to sneak by, and this is going to be really, really interesting.
And look at the position from Garlic Cola players one more time. A pair of them have somehow miraculously made it to the circle and have positioned themselves in a relatively safe place. As now RQQE looking to land more of those mini shots. Only 2 Aggressiva BESL Pro players all 4 of them are alive. They have just split up here on the actual map. I thought that they have already gone down, but for Garlic Cola, that is indeed true. Only 2 players have stayed alive. Once again, as now Content will take down times from that side of Aggressiva BESL Pro, and also looking to deal more damage to the side of Praise the Lord.
I have to give really good props again for the Mighty Wolves positioning themselves in the middle of the circle. Don't have to worry about it, and they just can put fights all around them, try to rack some kills. As right now, as we can see, Italiano takes almost the whole team down there with 1 or 2 nades. There's few of them left there.
And Aggressiva BESL Pro have already 5 kills in this match, and I believe Litest just added more to their own. They already had previously a decent amount and should be sitting around 6-7 kills, I believe, on their side now. As team lobby number 15, that is Kun. Still all 4 people alive. Just spotted a player there. Does manage to land some shots as RQQE on very low HP, forced to move again here in the open, and he somehow is still alive in the process, as well as Patrick the Lord. Just snakes in the grass with the help of his teammates, hiding away now as team number 17, Discount Gaming, are moving in here, have managed to find 4 gentlemen. He will be returning back, looking to pick up his teammate as the smoke is blooming here. So Dariel doesn't look like he's going to be saved, and Sikis both with the backside of Baby are going to be moving alongside of the edge here, as they have given up all hopes on their teammates. So Discount Gaming are going to be positioning themselves towards the edge of the circle here. Still a viable position just based off the terrain that they have, so they can hide away behind these hills. And they also, Team 20, that is 4 gentlemen, still have the M24 on their side, but the zone is already on the move. There's only 50 seconds here, as now Aurekas
shot his own teammate.
Shooting his own teammate, just making sure that he can deny any points if he can. Warmick actually has managed to find Flabber from Division here, and that is 11 teams still remaining, as he's just continuously wreaking havoc and dropping down a Molotov, forcing Alchemist to move. That is going to be another Molotov deployed here, but Alchemist with the pre-fire will take him down, and he'll be looking to finish him off in a second here, just making sure that none of these players are close enough to deal damage. And Alchemist still drops Jansa down to half HP here. Also spotted previously another player, so he should have, alongside with Girix, a good idea where these players are, but the zone will force them to move a bit, as there are 2 players down on the side of Division. It doesn't look like they will be picked up here, and Division players will be forced to move over this ledge and to get head-to-head in a battle with Kun players here. Yeah. Warmick on the ground.
All what the team Kun has to do is just hold this ledge, hold the other team not to come over there. Division is in a really big pickle down there. And
he managed to find the Alchemist, but unfortunately for him, Girix is there to save the day for his teammates. So Alchemist should be picked up here. That is going to be team number 24 gentlemen out of the game, as Division are still in it. So, down to 9 teams, we are 24 people still alive. Litus players still continuously wreaking havoc. They already have 10 kills and looking to add more, as the last Kartoshka players have been, well, essentially cornered into this house. You can see Leo with the nade in hand here, looking to decide what he's going to do as the players are coming in. But Kaworka is out of the game, and NBS Slol returning the favor instantly there towards the side of Kartoshka. So only Leo alive here. Their team have 3 kills, so it's not like this is all in vain, but Leo should realistically...
But they know that he's in that little room, because that's the only room where Nade can't touch him. They just push him with the free fire and he's down. Yeah,
so Kaz, excellent free fire there coming out from him. So still 3 people from the side of Litus players are alive, as now Garlic Hollow player Zenks looking to deal extra damage as they are in the zone. Litus players will still need to move into the actual zone here. And one more time, Mighty Wolves with the positioning. They have managed to reposition themselves to this second building block here. So moving from the upper right hand corner towards the lower side there.
What right now Garlic has to do is just hold... Oh, really good shot by Zenks.
That was insane.
That was really good by him. What they have to do is just hold that. The team Litus can't push them, but that's not happening. They don't have the other flank, and right now the Litus is going to come around them, and so they're letting them come into the zone.
Yeah, and RQQE has managed to get rid of Praise the Lord players, so that's another team out of the game. So currently we do have still some players from Aggressiva Betseprut alive, some players from Garlic Cola, Mighty Wolves, Litest, and as I say that, one of the Garlic Cola players literally has been just dropped down to the ground one more time. So Litus players really need to think about their approach now. They are essentially stuck in the middle of a field, and there are only 2 remaining, but they do have 12 kills here, so they should just try and survive as much as they can now, as General with the crew looking to add more.
The General with the crew, as you said, they have really good grounds now to pick them out, and that's what's happening. The content found one of the players, the Kaz, and there's another one somewhere near the zone that they have to find him really fast. The NBS is just there. The zone's going to be ticking soon, and I think he's going to be safe really close to the zone. It all depends where the next zone is going to be, and that determines how many points they're going to have in this game. But good props. They have already 12 kills in this game.
Yeah, so NBSLOL is probably going to stay alive as long as they can because he wants to gain these extra points on top of whatever he can add to his team. It's unlikely. Well, in this scenario, he might get a kill or two, but that's about it. So obviously, position now is going to matter a lot more in terms of how much points you can solo gain in favor of your team. And you can also see that Discount Gaming did the right call there. And when they moved in the previous zone towards that very edge, they still remained in those hills and just waited out all the gunfights until the next zone appeared. So that is definitely extra positions gained for them, but of course that means that they might lack in these kills. So Armans and both General have managed to find and kill off Zenks from Garlic Cola, and that means only Killers 3000 is remaining there. Barely managed to heal up.
Shouldn't move around, that's it. He has to hold his ground and wait out for the other teams to die.
Oh, and NBSLOL has actually been spotted just now. He took a few bullets towards him. I believe that was from Division players, judging from their place, as Aurekas from the lobby number 13, that is Pandora, has taken down one of the Cartelli players. So the Discount Gaming position is known at this stage. Of course, Content here just literally out in the open.
He knows that he's there. He has to spot him out. He's somewhere in the field and he's trying to find him, but, well, no cigar.
No cigar indeed for Content just yet. But Mighty Wolves do look like to be in a position so far to steal away the victory here as long as they play it out correctly. But as we saw previously, it can all go south very quickly for either of the sides. There's still players alive here. And you can see Alchemist with his teammate is going to be moving into the circle here.
This is a trap. The RQ going to get him. Because I think they have no intel about the RQ, and if he peeks out, he has to collect the other the division team, because Alchemist is getting his teammates one by one down.
And look, RQQQ has way too many kills. One more time, apologies, but he does manage to eliminate Garlic Cola, last remaining player, that is Killers. He will go down to Alchemist one more time. Alchemist just racking up kills for his team. Currently, the team is sitting on 9 kills, and that's an excellent job from him. Also managed to change the position a bit here, but Content with the M4 will find him and will knock him down, meaning that they only have one more person on feet here, as NBSLOL still somehow staying alive, extremely close to Mighty Wolves, and most likely will not make a move at all until the next circle appears. So also props to Discount Gaming. I mean, they stayed alive so far. Not really a huge amount of kills on their side.
That's the thing. We haven't spoken about them in this game. They are still alive. They have the position. They have all the guns. They have the intel about the other teams, and they're just trying to pick out one by one out. As right now, the Gurik is killing the Italiano. That means the team Aggressiva is in the 6th position out of this game. We have only 5 teams, 11 people alive, and the zone for the team
Pandora. So Pandora are actually now in a perfect position to rack up a good amount of points on their side, as I believe they are currently in the standings towards the other half, lower half of the overall result. And now team number 17, Discount Gaming, are running into a pack of wolves, as I've said previously, as they continuously just instantly drop everyone dead. Content and Armans eliminate lobby number 17, that is Discount Gaming, out of the game. Still 4 lobbies alive here, so that is going to be Pandora, Mighty Wolves, Littest, NBSLOL holding on to his dear life, and who is our 4th lobby?
He has only bandages left. He has to wait for the zone to move up and then try to get to the zone.
Yeah, and Armans is already peeking for him, so he's not going to allow for him to cross. He's just waiting for NBSLOL to heal up and to have his last goodbyes, as obviously crossing over from this direction, as also Armand's having the height advantage there. That is going to be pretty difficult. But as we've seen already previously in the last week, Girix being one of the players that does find more success when he's actually still solo, somehow miraculously is alive out in the open, despite the fact that Aurekas just spotted him and is looking to secure this kill. Obviously that's a dangerous thought to have to jump out that window, and he's not going to go ahead with it, meaning that Girix has managed to get to the circle and is going to stay alive for sure, which I cannot say for sure about NBSLOL, who is being actively hunted for. And you can see Content already with Armand approaching, and he'll be out of the game. That is going to be Team Littest in 4th position, but notably with 12 kills.
Right now we only have 3 teams left, and those are Mighty Wolves, the Division and what is the and
Pandora. Yeah,
And
so
2 of those teams have gotten wins today.
exactly. So Pandora really have a point to prove in this fight here, as Armands unfortunately somehow doesn't manage to find the shots. He is just waiting for that repick, and if that happens, Aurekas might go down. You can see he's just toying with the idea here. Both are trying to go for quick scoped kills, and neither of them are succeeding so far, as Gyrix still looking to see if he can gather information that is going to help him, but he might be spotted by Armands here. And also Armands in a position, like if he positions himself closer towards the left-hand side here, Gyrix could actually get a free drop onto him. And Mighty Wolves players are going to be playing the edge of the zone here.
Phase 8. This is the zone.
Oh.
It's the upper hand for our Pandora players, because that's going to be an open field, and they still will be able to hold some of the houses down there next to the zone or inside the zone as well. And it's going to be the street. That's it. There's going to be a street and a little ledge.
And so Sandes has already managed to drop down General here, and obviously Mighty Wolves are currently in the worst possible situation when it comes to a circle like this, where you actually need to go down from a hill into the open where there is no cover. So I hope they have an abundance of smoke grenades.
This is it. This is the zone.
Yeah, this is where everything is going to go down. So obviously lobby number 13 that is Pandora players have the luxury of moving towards these houses that are still within the actual circle, just slightly forward. And Gyrix, I believe the guy is just...
he can make a... No, but this is the moment where he can make a really big action into this game. If he waits out that moment where all the teams are moving to the last place, he can get some kills from behind or to surprise someone by him being there.
Yeah, as long as Armands doesn't spot him here, and now Gyrix is going to be looking to peek towards this direction where Armands is moving and trying to survive. I believe those are shots towards him, and Gyrix actually will knock down Armands and also will give away his position in the process towards these Pandora players. So Gyrix in a 1 versus 3 situation here, moving up closer to the first building, has the M4 out in hand and should hear the players pushing him. You can see nades being thrown here, and let's see who has the bigger experience in these situations. As I already said, Gyrix has had great success previously playing solo here. Should spot one of these players in a second, as now, oh my god, he's finding the correct timings here to move forward, as these nades are just continuously exploding above his head but deal no damage, and probably causing a lot of confusion for these Pandora players as to why is the guy not dead yet. But that is going to be the game, as the final nade will explode, and that is going to be Pandora, interestingly enough, winning the final game here on day 2. So definitely not something I was expecting to see as a team that is going to steal this way. You can also see that it was done with
That's the last
one
kill.
kill, yeah. So apparently 1 kill is all you need in order to win here in PUBG. And I mean, everyone has, out of us, have experienced either no kill or 1 kill games that you actually end up winning afterwards. So still understandable. Pandora did manage to find their positioning correctly throughout the process. Slightly lucky, I would say, with that last final circle, because if the circle would have fallen towards Mighty Wolves, which are sitting on top of a hill, and they would have just like an open field to wreak havoc on. So
last 3 circles what we had, they didn't have to move at all. They were just sitting in the houses, not getting kills, but surviving. That's the biggest point of this.
So you can see 1 kill on the side of Pandora. Second place is taken by Division, and Gyrix did manage to score 5 there, but in total Division do have 12 kills of their own. In third place we do have a Mighty Wolf sitting there with 7 kills, and fourth place is going to be for Team Elitist with another 12
really
kills.
Unfortunate how it played out for them in the late game.
Yeah, they were gradually picked off one by one.
And it was close for them to survive those fights what they had, but they lost one teammate in one early fight, the next one in the next fight, and after that there were just 2 of them left, and it was eventual for them to get picked out.
The situation how they were approaching the circle forced them to put themselves in positions that are unfavorable. So BESL essentially just in the open. So since Kawork joined, they did manage to rack up extra kills here, but unfortunately...
That's the thing. When they had the Kawork, the opposite happened. When they were playing 3 in one squad, they got more points, more kills, and a better positions.
Each game is a bit different, so...
I don't know, maybe they should kick him out.
Oh, that's what you said, not myself. So, all in all, a very action-packed second week, I would say. I am very pleased to see that teams are improving here and are making proper adjustments. We're also seeing new names,
yes.
on the board here. Previously in the last week, we did see one of the teams that didn't really show up that much today was Praise the Lord, because they did win one of the games last week. So hopefully now that Pandora, also a new name on the board that is able to win games from nowhere.
And with 1 kill, that's a surprising success for them.
Hopefully they will be able to continue the trend here towards the later half of the next following week. And also proper shout out to What Do You Mean players. They scored really good in one of the games. So there's definitely improvement happening throughout this tournament, and of course the players will be learning and checking out, and I hope they also check out the replay just to see and get a better understanding also what was happening on the map in other points during that time. So
for the statistics, we still need to wait 1 or 2 minutes, and Dave's going to be there.
Yeah, we're going to have a quick look at the stats in a moment here, just to understand where everyone stands. So we do see that Lidist are still currently in first place with 3,500.
Oh, they're live now, yeah.
20 points. So they have managed to secure themselves quite a lot of points today here. And one more time, that is a lot of kills their way.
They are securing their position only because they have a lot of kills getting into those games. As now in this game, what we just had, they even got 12, somewhere around 12 kills.
Yeah, they had 12 kills in this game.
And they didn't finish one of the first places. They were just getting some kills in the mid game, and I think that's one of their playstyles. What they do, they get some kills in the really early game and then move out to the late game, and eventually end up somewhere in the top 5, top 6.
Well, it does mean that just because of their pure mechanical skill, it allows you to continuously rack up points, so you do not feel the fluctuation in the standings so much as maybe perhaps other teams. In second place, we do have Team Division with 3,300 points, so props to them. Definitely a lineup I am... From one point of view, I thought Mighty Wolves would be doing better, but then again, Mighty Wolves are in third place with 3,065 points of their own. So, very positive news to see 2 Latvian teams within the top 4. We do have in the first place an Estonian team, and fourth place is currently
Lithuania. Yeah, and they are Lithuanian team. As well as in the previous week, we ended up with top 4 places. All the Baltic regions, and now as well we have 2 Latvian teams, Estonian team, and Lithuanian team. The brotherhood is still there. Right?
So the trio is still alive. Obviously now afterwards followed by in 5th position is Lietuvos Ateitis. Slightly unfortunate for them this week. I feel like they could have had better and bigger impact. They did have one solid game there, but unfortunately that was just about it for them this week.
They got picked out in a mid game somewhere in 2 of the games that we had, and afterwards at the end game they weren't performing at the highest peak what we saw the last week. And
then afterwards they're followed by Aggressiva Betsu Protus, so a team that is picking up fights left and right here, and obviously making the proper tactical adjustments. You could see that they have really stepped up in the standings so far.
And finally, the fights that they actually have, they can win them. They did win some of the fights that they had. They racked some kills and some points in the what can we see in the scoreboard as well.
Yeah, exactly. So, and followed closely by also Discount Gaming. So that is going to be 1,545 points for themselves. I would say in this last game and the game beforehand, if I remember correctly, they did put up a decent fight, but unfortunately died off towards the later half of it. So meaning that you guys need to perhaps think about slightly how you move around the map towards these later phases of the game.
But you have, like, when you look at the points, you have to remember that this is the PUBG that we are talking about. You can't know what's going to happen in the next upcoming weeks. Right now, from the number side, we can see, these teams are in the top side and these are in the lower side. But it takes only one day to rack up, let's say, 1,000 to 2,000 points or even 3,000 points per day. It's possible if you look at the numbers.
As I already said, victory is 500 points. So.
You never know which team's going to come up. And if you are still rooting, as me, for Kartoshka, let's say, I'm still there. I believe that they can take the game. They can take the tournament as well.
He's still a fan of Kartoshka because if the team wins, he will come and stream in a pink Hello Kitty shirt.
Yes, that's an unfortunate thing for me. But I hope that they actually win a game or two in this tournament what we're gonna have.
Okay, so Thank you all for joining in. Make sure that you continue joining in on our BSL stream next following week. We are going to have Counter-Strike Go as well for a lot of days, and make sure you see that one, especially on Monday.
A lot of surprises.
A lot of surprises. My co-caster, who is going to be MV on Monday, will suffer a lot of consequences for his predictions, but for now, my co-caster, nobody is going to say goodbye. Same as me, because thank you for joining one more time. I hope the person who won the food giveaway will enjoy the food already.
Remember, sharing is caring.
Sharing is
Call
caring.
me up, all right? We can arrange some meeting, all right?
The dude needs to replenish
I
his,
have to keep my
stash.
figure, all right? I have to keep my figure.
Sure.
Otherwise, you know, this doesn't play out.
Okay, well, see you next Saturday with more frying pans, more fun, big explosions. Bye. Thank you for tuning in.
Goodbye.
Flat on the floor of my life, the world just leaves me behind. I wanted more at this point, but I keep losing my voice. I don't wanna be like that though. Better grow a fucking backbone. I don't wanna be like that though. Better grow a fucking backbone. Losing my voice.